natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
You are listening to the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations. 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. One of the most lasting images of former NBA superstar Shaquille O'Neal's playing days is him tearing down basketball rims while dunking like they were made of paper. But today, Shaq wants to build, and he's got a new partnership to do it with.
There's a tremendous need in the U.S. for better infrastructure. You know, you see it in your roads, you see it in your airports, your train stations, and I want to help make that change. And, you know, Jack Mel is the partner that can help me do that.
That's Shaq speaking to Bloomberg about why he joined forces with Jack Mel Infrastructure. That's an investment firm that focuses on big construction and utility projects across the country. Shaq joined the company as a founding partner and says he's looking forward to winning big in the infrastructure space.
Every time I win a championship, it's because I have great teammates. You know, one with Kobe, I'm winning in the broadcast with Charles Barkley. So I want to also win a championship in the infrastructure space.
I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
At Skechers, comfort is a technology. That's right. You don't just make a shoe and hope it comes out comfortable. It takes research, innovations, compounds, engineering, and so much more to feel so comfortable you'd swear you're wearing pillows on your feet. We have features like Skechers Air-Cooled Memory Foam and fits like Relax Fit, Stretch Fit, Wide Fit, Arch Fit, and so many more to make the shoe feel like it was custom-made just for your foot. Plus, we have hands-free Skechers Slip-ins technology. Just step it and go. Find yours at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever comfortable footwear is sold.
He steps to the mic with a boom, ping, ping. Wisdom sharper than a beast's fierce sting. Words like fireflies that light the night. He turns the dark into blazing bright. Boom, ping, ping, the truth takes wing. Milwaukee's voice, let the city sing. Boom, ping, ping, hear the freedom ring. Sherwin's the king, oh, the airwaves king. Shake the ground, unveils the truth where lies abound. Politics, justice, social streams. He molds the chaos into dreams. No silence here, just the sound of change. Boom, ping, ping, rearrange. Boom, ping, ping, the truth takes wing. Milwaukee's voice, let the city sing. Boom, ping, ping, hear the freedom ring. Sherwin's the king, or the airwaves king. Through the static, through the noise, he amplifies the people's voice. Boom, ping, ping, like a heartbeat's call. He's got the wisdom to break down walls. Yeah. Da, 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 da.
program. Today is Thursday, October 23rd, 2025. As you can tell by the interesting title we chose for today's program, we're going to be talking about some political polling. Haven't really touched on political polling in a while. I think mostly because it's been insignificant in the first 6 months or year into a president's term. There's not really a whole heck of a lot we can do other than give our opinions, and usually our opinions can sway an administration. If Americans are not happy with, let's say, the economy, then the administration may take decisive action to maybe improve the jobs outlook or maybe provide more federal money for job training programs, or if there are a number of people in certain towns in the upper Midwest who are being displaced by automation, then sometimes the federal government can act with grants, et cetera, et cetera. But because this administration is not concerned with the public and the public's opinion, I haven't really discussed polling very much. But today I do want to talk about it because some of the numbers, I found them shocking. Now, you may disagree, but in my mind, I have a perception of where this administration is, not because of any personal bias I have toward it, but just the output of the administration. Where is America better, safer, stronger, performing better, right? Where are we advancing toward a more prosperous future with the actions of this administration? Not just the administration, but also Congress. And I don't see very much progress. And maybe you see the world differently, who knows? But the polling isn't necessarily reflective of that. So we're going to talk about polling in a little while. I want to jump back to, a topic that we talked about extensively yesterday. And it's important because there's a number of people, 700,000 Wisconsinites are likely to lose their food share benefits. This is not a laughing matter. This is very serious. People depend on those resources. But there's a story that I saw in local news. I think it's TMJ4. And I just want to give this example because whenever I find contrast, I want to share it with you because it can make the perceptions much more concrete. Because it just seems like black people just complain all the time. We're always complaining how stuff isn't fair and everybody's racist and the structural racism and the institutional racism. And we can say that to people, but if we don't provide actual evidence and explain it to folks like they're 5 years old, they're just going to think that we're talking out of the side of our necks, right? So there's a story. It's a very sad story, but it's a younger white woman, probably in her late 20s, who's got a child. It's a very sad story. The child has cancer, has leukemia. And they featured this woman on the news story this morning on television, then also on the website, and they shared it to social media. And it's how this woman, if she loses her food share benefit, she will be unable to feed herself because she can't work because her child is sick, which I totally get that. She's got to dedicate all of her time and her waking hours to the care of her child, her child is maybe 4 years old. Totally understand that. She can't work. I have no issue with that. She's receiving food share benefits. Again, I have no issue with that. But the way they are highlighting and platforming this white woman with blonde hair who needs her food stamps is a far cry from how they would tell this story if it was a black woman, number one. They wouldn't tell the story if it was a black woman, even in a similar situation, because there is this perception that exists about black people that even when we qualify for programs and benefits that weren't even designed for us in the first place, we are leeching off of the system. We are lazy. We don't want to work, even if it's a black woman who cannot work because her child is suffering with leukemia and she's got to be dedicated to the care of her child round the clock. And she relies on her food subsidies to eat and relies on her rent assistance so that they have a place in which they can live. It would be, where's the dad at? Oh, just another black single mother? It would be every single stereotype you could possibly imagine. When white women need help, subsidies, food stamps, welfare. We have to give it to them, and we empathize with them, and we sympathize with them, and we make sad eyes at the story like, oh my God, that's so sad. But if it's somebody black in the same situation, it's not looked at with that same level of sympathy. It's almost like when African Americans live in poverty, or if they're in a destitute situation, we are much more likely to be perceived as dangerous. But when white people are in the same deprived economic situations, they are deserving of everybody's help. Like, you got to stop what you're doing. It's almost like they're promoting, I'm going to read the story in a second, but the way they're promoting the story, it's almost like, hey, everybody, send your money to this one white woman with blonde hair whose child is sick. She can't work. She's going to lose her food stamps. Everybody just send her money. It almost seems like that kind of a setup. Because they did a little interview with her. I'm thinking to myself, there are thousands, tens of thousands, and hundreds of thousands of people in this state that might even be in a worse situation than she is. And and they're also going to lose their food benefits, but they're not getting a damn news story. It's just the hypocrisy of it all. When white people are hurting or poor or deprived, we have to do everything we can. We got to find all the subsidies. We got to help out all the farmers. When it's black folks, let them rot. They should be working anyway. And you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. There's also this other weird perception that I think draws great contrast. If there's a shooting in a black neighborhood, and in the last 24 hours, there's been a few, but y'all know me, I don't talk about shootings because we don't always have all the information. I think that even the conversation about violence in our city further diminishes the image of our city. Like, we don't know if it was self-defense. We don't know any of that stuff. All we know is, like, African-American suspect, African-American was killed, and we know the 100 block, the street, like the cross streets, and it's a black neighborhood in 53206. And I'm not into promoting that because it's going to further tarnish the image of the city and of people that look like me. So I don't really talk about those situations. And also, I'll be talking about it every single day if I want to cover every single shooting. We're in a country that has a lot of guns, probably more guns than people. Somebody's going to get shot. And so for me to take valuable airtime and discuss every single incident and be outraged by it, I don't have the bandwidth for that. But what you'll find is common is another person will be fed up, right? So we'll hear about a shooting, black neighborhood, of course. And lately it's been a lot of teenagers and children, which is even more sad. But then somebody will say, I'm leaving Milwaukee. Can't handle this anymore. I'm moving away. And they'll cite reasons, and they're legitimate reasons. Too much violence, too many shootings. Maybe they say things like the educational quality, but we believe them when they say they are fatigued and fed up with whatever the negative conditions are in Milwaukee, and they say that they're moving. But a lot of times it's the shootings and the homicides, right? People have to leave the neighborhood. Or they leave Wisconsin altogether. A lot of people going to Texas, aren't they, Andrew? Going down south. They're leaving Wisconsin, going down to Texas.
A lot warmer.
Yeah, but they also have, like, power outages, and you guys get 2 inches of snow down there, the whole world stops. I've always been fascinated by, so in a smaller town that is more racially homogeneous Caucasian, if there's a shooting, right? So a mass shooting in a Wisconsin town of 600 people where 10 people are shot is a homicide rate that is 10 times higher than the city of Milwaukee. But you never hear those people saying, I'm moving out of this rural community where all of this gun violence is taking root. If there's a shooting and a murder-suicide in a suburban neighborhood, or because there's shootings out there too, in Elkhorn or New Berlin or All Points in Waukesha or the Eagle Township, somebody gets shot, a kid gets shot, whatever happens. You never hear people saying, I'm leaving this small rural town because of all of this violence. You got to remember, it's all proportional and based on population. So if your town only has 5,000 people in it and 2 people get shot, that is a sizable homicide rate. No, it's only 2 people getting shot, but you only got 5,000 people in the town, you see. Technically, in some of those smaller towns, the crime rate, the homicide rate, the murder rate, the violent crime rate, the rape rate, the arson rate is actually higher, but you never hear people say, I'm leaving this town, there's too much rape and there's too much arson. Let me tell you why. because they know either consciously or subconsciously that when these things happen in the black community, right, if there's a shooting, and people get shot all over the place. It's not even racial. It's everywhere. There's an understanding that black people are so deprived of opportunity, fairness, and hope and resources that we are engineered to just be violent. And that's why so many people want to move away from the black neighborhood and move away from the black community when there is an episode of violence. Now, remember, it's 600,000 people in this damn city, and we probably have millions of guns in this city. A lot of them are unregistered. So just that fact alone, that we have 600,000 people in this city and probably millions of guns, I'm surprised that 20 people aren't getting shot every single hour. But when it does happen, the perception is it's so much worse than if it happens in a small town. Nobody is leaving their suburb. There can be a school shooting. 30 kids get shot. None of the parents or members of that community where 30 people got shot are saying, we're going to move. We're leaving this community of Littleton, Colorado, or Paducah, Kentucky, or Sandy Hook Township. No, they don't leave. They talk about, well, there'll be grief counselors available for when the kids go back to school as soon as the blood is cleaned up. Those are the kinds of perceptional contrasts that I want to illustrate. If there's an incident or incidents of violence in the black community, everybody is bad. The whole neighborhood is bad. The people are terrible. They don't want to work. They're lazy. All they do is they shoot each other, and you have to move away if you possibly can. But if it happens in a suburban neighborhood, it's just, well, that's an isolated incident. These kinds of things don't happen out here. But they do, though. We know that we can engineer human beings to be violent if you deprive them. If you do not pour into them like you pour into other places, and here's what's crazy, you can pour into other places too, and there'll still be shootings. But we know that human beings can be engineered to be violent, and the African American, or the perception of the black person, is a being that is engineered to be violent. And you might be saying to yourself, Sherwin, we don't engineer people to be violent. What do you think the military does? I couldn't make it through Marine boot camp. You know what I mean? I can't do a pull-up. You know what I mean? I can't do, not enough anyway. But we have the ability to engineer human beings to be violent. I think for too long they have done that to the black community. So I'm take a break, come back. Maybe I'll touch on this story of this there's a picture of the white woman. She looks sad. And then there's her child laying in the bed. The child has the cancer, which again is very sad. I'm not making fun of or, making light of this story at all. But the way they cover these stories, this white woman is losing her welfare. Now, all of you need to feel sympathy and call your member of Congress. Side note on that real quick, because I got to take a break. I rarely send correspondences to my elected officials. I don't, because if I want to talk to them, I'll just call them, or I'll just say some stuff on the radio and they'll find out that way. But I did send a letter to Tammy Baldwin as a constituent of hers. She's our U.S. Senator. I sent her an email talking about my perspective on the government shutdown and what I think the Democrats are doing is righteous, as I am someone who gets their health insurance from the ACA marketplace, and I don't want to see my premium skyrocket. Y'all know I was just in the damn hospital a month ago. I got good insurance. My hospital bill was $50,000. I only owe $1,800. I needs that insurance now, and my monthly premium is reasonable, you see. So I sent a letter to her, kind of explaining my story and that she needs to dig in and stand firm because we cannot have our premiums going through the roof. The letter that she sent back, it was almost like they didn't even read what I sent. So I'm not discouraging people from contacting your members of Congress when you want to communicate an issue, but y'all got to do better, Because when I worked for Congress and we received your letters, back then people actually wrote letters or they typed letters to their congressman. Yeah, some people called, but back then they still wrote letters. We actually responded to the people's inquiries in the letters. We didn't just send them a form letter back, so just felt the need to share that. You were listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, now with more AI. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Milwaukee Panthers basketball is back. On Saturday afternoon, the Panthers host the UW Parkside Rangers.
4 seconds left in the half. KP contested three. Oh, Pullian buried it at the buzzer. 5-on-4. Folks lob it up. Johnny Lovelace Jr. sends it in.
Scott Warris has the coverage Saturday starting at 12:30 p.m. on 101.7 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off happens at 1 o'clock.
Contract-ready businesses, opportunity seekers, partnership builders, deal closers. Marketplace Wisconsin, the Governor's Conference on Diverse Business Development, is focused on you. This event puts small businesses like yours in the room with buyers, partners, and mentors who can help open doors to bigger opportunities. Join us online December 9th, in person December 10th and 11th at the Baird Center in downtown Milwaukee. Whether you're in construction, looking for contracts, or a service provider ready to grow, Marketplace Wisconsin is for you. Meet one-on-one with government reps, corporate buyers, and resource providers. Small businesses like yours keep Wisconsin moving forward. Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation is here to propel your growth. So join them for Marketplace Wisconsin, the Governor's Conference on Diverse Business Development, December 10th and 11th. Register at marketplacewisconsin.com. That's marketplacewisconsin.com. Presented by WEDC. Let's look forward together.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
From New London, Wisconsin, with just 9 days remaining before a potential federal government shutdown could pause food share funding, nearly 700,000 Wisconsin residents who rely on the program are facing uncertainty about their next meal. I think that there's political sentiment in this country for the millions and millions of people that work really hard and probably don't make enough money, probably don't get enough time off, probably pay way too much for their health insurance, but they're working every day and they're struggling. They don't really have a lot of sympathy for people that aren't working. But they also don't look at the nuanced situations that sometimes people find themselves in where you can't work or you do qualify for these benefits. There is this well-communicated stereotype that welfare needs to be cut just across the board, because people will say stupid stuff like, I don't want my tax dollars going to these lazy people. You can hear that across cultures, ethnicities, and races. I don't work hard just to feed all these lazy people, they'll say. But here's what's crazy. When they lose their damn job, they're qualifying and applying for everything. Well, that's different when it's me. I don't have a job. I need these food subsidies. But, when they're working and they're struggling, they don't want anybody to take their very precious tax dollars. Here's the other thing that we need to know about how this whole damn thing works. Let's say we cut all the food shares. Whatever welfare program that you don't want your tax dollars going to, let's cut out the money for PBS, which is like 12 cents a year in federal tax dollars or something. Like you pay 12 cents to have public broadcasting. So cut all that out. What else? All the housing subsidies. You know how we hate Section 8 people. We hate the poor people living in the poor people houses, and we pay for that too. So we subsidize housing. We subsidize food. What other welfare programs? Medicaid, right? People pay into that, but that's a subsidy too or an entitlement. What if we cut all that stuff out, right? What if we had a program like Doge where a group of people go through the federal budget line by line and they cut stuff because the American people will tell you that they pay too much money in taxes and they want to keep more of their money. Like, that's a legitimate argument. I look at my check and my check is, I don't know, $2,000, and then I only take home $1,100 or $1,200. Oh boy, they're taking out all these taxes. So then common sense would say, that person would say, oh, they're taking too much of my money to pay for all these programs that I don't know about, that I don't like. So you have something like Doge that comes in and cuts all the programs. Here's what the big joke is. Let's say we cut tens of billions of dollars of wasteful spending, including these lazy fat people that are on welfare. Cut out all their welfare. Doesn't make any sense to be on welfare and you're fat. How are you getting so much food, fatty? Right? But here's the joke. You cut out all those programs and then billions and billions of dollars more of wasteful spending, some of those stupid Democrat programs. They're not giving it back to you, you idiot. You can yell and scream at the top of your lungs from the highest mountain peak about how you want all of these wasteful programs to cease. And the Republicans and the federal government will indulge you. They'll cut everything. You are not going to get that money back. So since you're not going to get it back, we might as well have those programs there when you need them. They're taking all my tax money with all these programs. Okay, then cut all the programs. Your tax burden is going to be exactly the same. Do you think that if they cut out all the welfares and the SNAP benefits and all the subsidies and the food subsidies and the farm subsidies and the housing subsidies, that all of a sudden the money's going to go back to your paycheck? Are you kidding me? The money's going to go to rich people. Dumb. There you go. So we got to stop with that. Among those worried is Destiny Doonan, and Destiny is spelled with 2 E's. A New London woman whose 3-year-old son, Cade, is battling leukemia. The single mother receives $289 monthly through food share, which Doonan says is essential as she cannot work due to her son's intensive medical needs. And I totally understand that, but let's be clear. They put this story out there. They wrote this story to appear in local media here about a white woman receiving welfare and why she needs it. Contrary to the perception, because I think that a lot of folks think, oh, welfare is just for a bunch of black women that don't want to work. So no, here's what they do, because the media created that narrative that welfare is for black women anyway. And so because they've created that narrative, you have a lot of people, like a plurality of people saying, oh, welfare needs to get cut because it's just a bunch of lazy people. So they find this white woman with the blonde hair, and then they show her cancer baby as, no, we need to have food share and SNAP benefits because it can affect white people too. Newsflash. I talked about this yesterday, but I feel the need to reiterate it because it's not discussed enough. There are 4 million African-American headed households in this country right now that are receiving some kind of food share benefit that is connected to the SNAP program. What happens is the federal government funds that food subsidy, and then they send it to the states, and then the states have their own programs, their EBT programs, their food share programs, et cetera. There are 4 million black households that are receiving some kind of food subsidy. Now, a household can be 5 people because they assign and apportion the benefits based on the household, your household size, your household income, et cetera, okay? There are 4 million African-American households that are receiving some SNAP benefits. There are 15 million white households. There are as many Caucasian, and this is not a strike against white people, because sometimes white people are really poor. Like, white people do poverty in some parts of the country very differently than black people do poverty, right? White people poverty is, well, that possum ain't got to go to waste. You know, we can do something with it. We can make a possum stew, or we can do, you know, it's hunting. I'm gonna go kill me some dinner. Black poverty has Jordans, an iPhone 17, and several flat screen TVs and a PlayStation. What are they up to now? PlayStation 5, 6? So the whites know poverty very well. But there are, and this is not a strike against the Caucasian folks. It's just I can't have white people walking around here thinking that they are better than and more righteous than anybody else. Here's where Sherwin Hughes stands on the issue. If you need help and you qualify for it, get it. I'm not getting my tax money back whether you get the help or not, so you might as well get that money. Get them food stamps. I'm going to tell you something now, Destiny Doonan. You're $289 a month and you eating good. Now, hold on. Listen to me. Listen, I know the groceries are expensive, but it's just you and a 3-year-old. And I'm looking at the picture of the baby. This baby getting fed through a tube. So that baby ain't expensive to feed. Okay? $289 a month. Come on, Destiny. You can buy a lot of ramen for $289 a month. I don't even know if I spend, and I'm an eater, you know what I mean? And Destiny is a skinny white lady. $289 a month? That's seems kind of heavy there, Destiny. Among those worried is Destiny Doonan, a New London woman whose 3-year-old son, Cade, is battling the leukemias. The single mother receives $289 a month. So where's the father? I'm just curious. Come on, y'all know it. You'd be asking that question if it was Lakeisha. Well, where's the dad? Yeah, where's the daddy at? Quote, we get $289 a month, But it helps a lot because currently I get Social Security because Cade has leukemia, Doonan said. Cade's leukemia diagnosis means he spends days and sometimes months at Children's Hospital for chemotherapy and treatment. When Doonan attempted to return to work earlier this year, her son's health complications made it impossible. In March, I started considering going back to work, and then he started having seizures, and his O2 went down to 50. That's his oxygen level, and he almost passed away. Then in July and June, I started working, and they just couldn't accommodate his appointments. Unable to work, Doonan currently receives, hold on, wait a minute, what is this here now? She lives on $900 a month, with half going toward her rent. For her family, food share isn't optional. So hang on, so she's getting... But that's okay, though, that she's living off us. She's got a baby with leukemia. I just am not okay with how they got all these pictures of her. You know what's crazy? So I'm looking at this picture of Destiny Doonan. And I posted this link in the Hughes Views Facebook group if you want to go look at Destiny Doonan as well. She got money to dye her damn hair. You live it, no, I'm just saying, come on now. Because you know damn well if it was a black woman with a bunch of weave, y'all be like, oh, she got money to get a weave. Destiny got purple hair. A white lady with purple hair. She got glasses. Who paying for your glasses? Glasses is expensive. You ain't got no eye insurance. Destiny getting all that welfare. You know what I mean? All I'm doing is treating her like they've been treating us, and y'all don't like it. Like I'm supposed to be extra sympathetic to Destiny. And Destiny, I'm okay with when I get my check from Good Karma Brands, you get a piece of my check. It's all right, Destiny, but you living off of us now, Destiny. You're going to have to sacrifice some things. I don't know how you affording to get that hair dyed, because when women get their hair done, it's costly. I know some white women, when they get their hair done, you can't even tell the difference. Like, oh, sure, when you like my hair, well, what's different about it? Oh, I paid $300 for this. You're an idiot. It looks the same. You should have left it alone and saved $300. Should have given your $300 to Destiny Doonan. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Are you ready to live your most radiant life? Join AARP's Luminous Life, a celebration of wellness, empowerment, and community for African American women ages 45 to 65. Discover expert tips on healthcare, hair care, and wealth building, all in one uplifting experience. Visit aarp.org/Milwaukee to register for the October 25th event in Milwaukee and shine from the inside out. Luminous Life, because every woman deserves to glow. Visit aarp.org/Milwaukee for more information today and to register today. That's aarp.org/Milwaukee.
Every child deserves a school that sees their brilliance. At Milwaukee College Prep, they believe in high expectations, strong character, and academic excellence starting as early as age of 3. MCP scholars continue to outperform their peers across Milwaukee. And the best part about it all, Milwaukee College Prep is tuition free. If you're looking for a school that partners with you, challenges your child, and prepares them for college and beyond, Milwaukee College Prep is the place. Visit MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com to learn more. That's MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com.
Coming with straight truth.
Corey, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you when I first started hearing your voice. And what you're doing, in the words of T-Pain and Gorilla, I love it.
Thank you, brother. Bless.
Hey, I'm down with you, man. I missed your last gathering, but the next one I'm going to be there. And I'm going to make sure I introduce myself because, hey, you're God in all circumstances.
Catch the Tory Lowe Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Never miss a moment of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on the new 101.7 The Truth.
Violence is a tool. Violence is a tool of oppression. It's a tool of subjugation. It's a tool of manifest destiny. Let's not say all of a sudden, oh, hip-hop music is why people are... No. Y'all know how America was discovered? Murder, slavery, human trafficking. The origins of violence predates hip-hop. Can we at least agree on that?
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Tap into the best power hour in radio in Milwaukee.
Dropped my pants. I had to make sure I wasn't seen, you know. I didn't want nobody to get surprised.
This is a sick Negro.
I'm just a real one. I peed again, came on back. I said, what y'all been doing? We've been out here for 3 hours. Y'all ain't peed yet? Just sitting here, we playing beer pong, and y'all sitting here peeing next to me? I'm still itchy today, thinking something wrong. Am I the only one that's astonished by this?
Catch Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace every weekday from noon to 1 p.m. on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
Your expression on your face, that's got to me. And the man wasn't lying.
What you mean the expression on my face? How can you see my face? You listening to me on the radio, man.
No, I'm watching you on YouTube, too.
Oh, all right, then. You're an old man, and you know about YouTube. How old are you, Adam? You about 85.
83.
I'll be dipped. How blessed are we to have you?
Watch all your favorite 101.7 The Truth shows by subscribing to 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
If you go to one of my Facebook pages, I got some of them is fake now, but it's the one where I'm wearing like this tan pea coat and a scarf. That's the profile picture. And LT, I hope you're listening. I see you in the YouTube chat. I want you to watch that video that I posted about Taylor Swift. There's this white fella, I can't think of his name. He's more famous on TikTok, but some of his videos have bled over to Instagram, and that's where I find him. And he basically, his content creation theme and format is challenging white supremacy in ways that we want white people to challenge it, because if black people do it, we just sound like we're complaining. I'm using this. And it's probably not fair to Destiny because she's in a very sad situation, whatever. But she needs to know that she is being used, this woman who TMJ for our local news, NBC affiliate here wrote the story about her, because the media has done a yeoman's job of creating this perception of the welfare mother and the welfare queen, of these black women that are lazy, don't want to work, got a bunch of kids and a bunch of baby daddies. Like, those are the people that are taking your welfare. Because when you propagandize like that, when you think about welfare, if you think it's just black women that are getting in and taking advantage of the system, then you will be much more likely to not support welfare programs. And so when we cut these welfare programs, because working people will say, I don't want my tax money going to lazy people. If you think it's just black women getting welfare, you will be okay with welfare getting cut. But you got to think about this for a second. When the programs get cut, and they do, there was a whole movement in the 1990s, a whole W-2 program to cut welfare where people had to work now to qualify for certain benefits. You guys remember that? And Bill Clinton was the one that ushered that in, because the Republicans were going to run for president in 1996 with the whole notion of they were going to reform welfare. So Bill Clinton was like, I'm going to steal that agenda item from the Republicans so that people vote for me. And it worked. So we reformed our welfare systems all over the country because there's this perception that it's lazy black women that are irresponsible, have a whole bunch of baby daddies, blah, 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 whatever. So the public will be in favor of cutting these welfare programs, but the money goes to wealthy people. It does not go back to you. And so because for so long, local media, national media has created this negative perception of the welfare recipient. That's why this story, it's laughable. It's laughable because now they're using blonde-haired white women with their cancer babies as the new face of welfare as to why we can't cut it. Why you're supposed to pressure the Democrats to reopen the government so Destiny can feed herself and her child that has cancer. Destiny was getting $289 a month in the food stamp. That ain't bad now for two people. She lives off of $900 a month. Half of that goes to her rent. The other $450 that she has left over, God knows what she does with that. She also has money to get her hair dyed. So it is incumbent upon me, as someone that hosts a black talk radio show, to show the differences and the inconsistencies and the contrast between the job of white media, which is to propagandize negative portrayals of black people, But then what we do is we have to highlight that as African-American radio hosts to say that they have been screwing us over for decades and generations. And sometimes they did such a good job of screwing us over that they ended up hurting themselves in the process. Now, we titled this program Pole Dancing because I do want to get to some political polls, because I think that where Donald Trump is in the minds of people who are responding to political polls, he's not doing as bad as I thought he was in the minds of other people. Now, I have my, proclivities politically. You guys have yours, and maybe that's why you listen to this show, because we probably have some of the same, political understandings or whatever. But polling is important because we get to have a perspective on how other people think that we may not necessarily interact with. Right? Because I bet most of the people that listen to this program probably not a fan of what is going on in the country right now. But it's not about us. It's about all of those other people that we have written off or don't talk to, or they're not in our social circles or our professional circles. I want to know how they feel about the country and what their perception of Donald Trump is. And it's not nearly as bad as mine. And so while I hold out a lot of hope that the Democrats will some kind of way get their act together, I don't really have a lot of faith. So you got a mayor's race coming up in New York, and I'm really worried about that because there's a Democratic socialist who, for all intents and purposes, is leading in the polls. And because I don't believe the Democrats have an identity right now, they're going to look at whatever Democrats are winning in any election between now and November of 2026, and they're going to overanalyze whatever the platform was of that Democrat that won, and they're going to say, oh, we need to apply this nationally. Oh, Mamdani is going to be elected the mayor of New York. He's a far left-leaning Democratic socialist. National Democrats will be like, oh, let's try that because it worked in New York. I really hope they don't do that, because it's not going to work, especially in places like the Midwest, where our political sentiments tend to be much more centrist and a little less extreme. It is the extremes in the political parties that get all the attention, but do not represent the thoughts, feelings, and sentiments of just regular, average, everyday people that just want to go to work, make a little money, come home, eat some pasta, watch Steve Harvey on Family Feud, and just do it all over again, and maybe have a little money put away for vacations or a little money for retirement. That's basically it. Those people are not political extremes, but the problem is the people on the far left and the far right make all this damn noise. Shout out to the transgender people, but sorry, transgender people, we sacrificed a lot for y'all. And so the transgender girls, that I guess it was a big deal that because they're girls, that they play on the girls' sports team. Are those teams even winning? Because if we're going to sacrifice basically a presidency, because the Republicans made a big deal, they spent $30 million on those trans ads. You know that? Oh, the Democrats want your daughter to play basketball with a mustached man, or whatever they were saying. But we also found out that the Republicans running $30 million worth of ads to shame the Democrats that want to have transgender girls in girls' sports, that resonated most with black men. That's why they kept running those ads, because they didn't necessarily need black men to vote for Trump. They needed a handful, like a small percentage of black men to not vote for Kamala Harris, which is easy. If you tell a black man that maybe isn't all that politically astute and does not know that he has skin in the political game, if you tell him don't vote for the black woman, former prosecutor from liberal California with a white Jewish husband, that's an easy sell. Now, that doesn't mean that person is going to go and vote for Trump, but it means they are not going to vote for Kamala Harris. One of my Facebook memories came up yesterday. A year ago, I was at an event with Liz Cheney, Charlie Sykes was moderating, and the special guest was Kamala Harris. 1 year ago yesterday. And I'm sitting on the stage. I'm on the risers. And right around the corner, right over my right shoulder, because we didn't know where Kamala was going to come out from, Because she was coming out to the stage. Was she going to come out? Because I'm sitting on the far right side of the stage, and then there was another curtain on the far left side of the stage. We didn't know where Kamala was going to come out from. So I'm thinking to myself, if Kamala comes out from the curtain that's right over here by me, I'm going to be real close to her. Real close. So I saw the curtain move. And I got my cell phone ready because I wanted to take a picture of her. When she walked out, she looked directly at me, and my stupid ass has my cell phone in front of my face. Instead of looking at Kamala Harris in her eyes, I'm looking at her through my damn screen. And I took a picture of her, and it was blurry. But somebody else captured the moment where she walked out and she was looking directly at me, so I posted that on the Facebooks. What a moment that was. I thought she was going to win. She didn't. But she looked at me so lovingly. No, you should go. I think I might have put the picture on my Instagram, too. I'll put it somewhere. Go find it. But she looked at me so lovingly, and I captioned the photo that I reposted of 1 year ago when Kamala Harris walked out on stage and she looked directly at me. I said, get you a woman that looks at you the way Kamala Harris looks at me. Except get you a woman that can win an election. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I will be right back.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com. Need a way to hype up your day?
Hey, is this Carolyn?
It is.
Congratulations, Carolyn. You just won this
Congratulations. Woo! God is good all the time.
What would you do with $5,000?
I'm going to buy my nieces some school clothes because my nephew just passed away.
Oh.
So I'm going to get them some clothes.
Stay tuned into 101.7 The Truth for your chance to be entered into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway. For contest rules, visit 101.7thetruth.com.
The 24th annual A Novel event is coming. Sharp Literacy's yearly fundraiser will happen on October 28th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Baird Center. Green Bay Packers all-time leading receiver and Super Bowl champion Donald Driver will be the featured guest and keynote speaker. Funds raised at A Novel event will support the delivery of Sharp's STEAM-based education program to thousands of K-3 through 5th grade students and educators across Milwaukee, Waukesha, and Racine. For tickets, visit sharpliteracy.org.
We believe that self-care isn't selfish. I'm Maddie from Sweet Talks, a women-owned and operated medical spa fostering self-love and confidence. We believe that beauty is about feeling empowered from within, and it's truly a passion for our team at Sweet Talks. Your goals are our goals. Our services go beyond injectables, including facials, lasers, medical weight loss, hormone therapy, and more. There's even a cafe, complimentary to all patients. Get started today at Sweet Talks in Menominee Falls. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 101.7 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axhousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
People think I'm crazy, but I love you 'cause you crazy too. Radio killer. Red light special, undress me under the candlelight. Turned up in this business, watch me do all.
Our telephone number, if you're so inclined, is 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017. I'm going to be a lot better and more intentional about reading your text messages to the 833-212-1017 number. Ricky said he has, oh yeah, that is, look at that. Look how she's looking at me, Ricky. Look at that loving, just like gaze.
She like she feeling you, bro.
She is. And so I wanted to capture the moment because I figured she was going to walk out real quickly and then go to the center of the stage where she was going to be seated during this hour-long conversation with Charlie Sykes, the moderator, and Liz Cheney, who is a Republican, daughter of Dick Cheney, former representative of, I believe, Wyoming. And it was an event. So this was like the last week, 2 weeks before the presidential election last year. And so I didn't even realize in the moment, like, oh, Sherwin, put your phone down. I'm like, I got to get this picture. And then, like, this was in the New York Times, this picture, because this visit that she had to, it was in Brookfield, actually, because Waukesha was starting to turn slightly more blue. And the way the political prognosticators were predicting, if Waukesha votes a little bit more blue, then Wisconsin's going to be a blue state and Kamala Harris is going to win, blah, 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 blah. So this visit to this event in Brookfield made national news, and this photo was also in the New York Times, and I'm kind of embarrassed because I should have put my phone down. And she's just, look how lovingly she's just staring. She's like, oh, Sherwin, if I wasn't married to this white Jewish fella, you know what I mean? It's a very nice picture. And then the guy right behind me over my shoulder is Wauwatosa Alderman Sean Lowe. And Sean is like he's talking directly. He's yelling at her. I don't know what he's saying, but he's saying, if you notice, he's right in my ear. He's like, Madam Vice President. And all I heard was blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking to myself, Sean, you're ruining my moment. And then there's a woman who's standing on the riser below us. You can't really see her face, but that is defense attorney Tony Cotton's mother. So it's the three of us on the end of these risers, these bleachers, myself, Sean Lowe, and attorney Tony Cotton's mother. Don't ask me how they put us together, this very unusual motley crew, but yeah, that's us right there. All right, I got so much stuff here. Should we get into some of the polling? Yeah, we'll get to the polling in a second. Ed says, hypocrisy. The same people that cheered when the United Healthcare CEO was murdered are now fighting for that company to get billion-dollar tax cut, using poor people's food as leverage in negotiations. That sounds like hypocrisy. Ed, can you better explain that? I don't know if you will, but I'd like you to. How is anybody fighting for United Healthcare to get a tax cut? Are you referring to the healthcare subsidies? That's not a tax cut for United Healthcare. That is a reduction in healthcare premiums for Americans who are very, very sick. Americans are not healthy people for a variety of reasons. We have too much excess. Our food is not healthy. Nobody exercises as much as they should. And we need to have affordable health care. Let me tell you why. Because everywhere else in the world where you have industrialized, civilized, wealthy nations, they understand that it's a right to be able to go to the doctor, not a privilege. Like, we are so screwed up over here. That is the one thing that I wish Americans understood. You should not have to face bankruptcy or going broke to afford your prescriptions and to go see a doctor or to get emergency room services. You should not. It is disgustingly unfair. Rich people, they don't have to worry about it. But if you're a working class person, just think of what they charge you just for a hospital stay. I was in the hospital. How long was I there? 2 days? When Friday, I left on Sunday. I was there for a weekend, the most expensive weekend of my damn life. $50,000. If I didn't have health insurance, who knows what would have happened? That makes absolutely no sense, because in an emergency situation, they're going to take your ass to the hospital. Because don't nobody want you dying on their floor. And you're going to go to the hospital, and they're going to take care of you, and they're going to hook you up to all sorts of machines, and they're going to give you an IV in it, and you're going to pay for all of that stuff. You should not have to go broke or file bankruptcy because you got sick or because you got into an accident. Let me tell you why we don't have a system of health care in this country. And it's the reason why you think. So that black people don't get it. That's why. Period. And now they're changing the narrative. Now it's, well, illegal immigrants are getting health care. No, the hell they are not. Have you guys ever gone to the Affordable Care Act exchange? You know how much damn citizenship information? You got to sign this and prove that. The original reason why there is no free health care for Americans is because they know that white people are much more likely to have more money and much more likely to be able to afford their health insurance than black people. That's the only reason why. We will die off. You wonder why there's an 80% coverage for your Medicare? You got to come up with 20% out of pocket. Statistically, they did an analysis when they were coming up with a Medicare program. Black people have less money in equity in their homes, less money in retirement, less money in savings. Okay? So if you require African Americans to pay for 20% of their health care coverage with Medicare, they're going to die. That's right. Because they won't be able to afford that 20%. That 20% was very specific and strategic because black folks just have just that reduced amount of income and wealth and savings to where if you make us have to pay 20 additional percent, they call it a donut hole, 20%, then some of us are going to die. That is the whole point of it. Isn't that nuts? And so the Democrats are like, okay, we don't have a perfect healthcare system, but it does allow for people that make a certain income to be able to have some affordable health care options. And the Republicans want to take that away as well. But that is the motivation, and I need you to know that. Now, this is not propaganda. This is not me making something up. There are certain people that we just don't ever want to get anything, even if they qualify for it. The hatred for African Americans in the post-slavery period is just, it's so pervasive and it's so a part of what this country is that it still exists to this day. But here's the problem. It's also hurting white people. White people have to realize and have to get sick of them getting hurt because white Republicans wanted to hurt black people and immigrants and brown people. White people are getting hurt too. I said it yesterday, I'll say it again today. There are 15 million white households right now that are currently receiving some kind of a SNAP benefit. There are 4 million black households. White people have to decide that voting Republican, it's time out for that because it is beginning to hurt them, even though the whole mission, the whole point, and the whole purpose was to try and hurt us, but it's hurting them worse. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back for hour 2.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is 1017 The Truth's Kyle Wallace, and the time is now, Milwaukee. Truth to Power is your platform, and on my show, our community always has a voice. There is no topic that is off limits, and I always give you my authentic opinions on how I feel because keeping it real is the only way I know how to get down. Listen to Truth to Power with me, Kyle Wallace, every day from noon to 1 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on YouTube at 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Where strong voices meet strong opinions.
Tell your kids who were supposed to be the 7th generation that Paw Paw's an idiot because Paw Paw decided he wanted to be Make America Great, but meanwhile, the Chinese ain't buying soybeans from us no more because of policies Donald Trump put in, and they voted for us. You know, I don't know what we're gonna do. I know what you should have did. You should have voted for somebody that wasn't gonna put tariffs out there. I love God, but God can't save you from nonsense. You don't deserve a bailout. You can't sit here and vote one way, and then when your economy gets decimated, your way of life gets destroyed, you want to pray to God? God didn't tell you to go to that poll and vote against your own best interest. That was your own damn problem. That was you. But don't ask for prayer when you block your own blessing. That's why I don't feel bad for these farmers. You voted for this, and now you reap what you sow.
Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace, every weekday from 12 to 1. Streaming live on YouTube and on 1017 The Truth.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
We are the home of Milwaukee Black Talk. 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 2 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Let's do some pole dancing, shall we? Ballotopedia average from October 22nd, 2025 on a generic ballot. Any Democrat receives 47% support from registered eligible voters. Any generic Republican receives 45%. The Democrats only have a damn 2 percentage point advantage. This man is spending $250 million to tear the damn White House down to build a ballroom. It's not going to be finished until he's out of office. This man is giving how many billions of dollars to Argentina while the government is shut down, while he wants to take away subsidies from people who want to be able to have affordable health care? And the Democrats only have a 2-point advantage? 2-point advantage is within the margin of error, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go to another poll, see if the Democrats are doing any better. Emerson College, they did a poll on October 13th and October 14th of registered voters in the United States of America with a representative sample. Any generic Democrat receives 43.9%. Any generic Republican receives 42.5%. Democrats have a 1.4 percentage point advantage. Another Emerson College poll has the Democrats at 44, the Republicans at 43. So across the board here, the Democrats have, and this is as of this month of October of 2025, the Democrats have on average about a 1.9% advantage over any generic Republican, which means I'm going to give the advantage to the Republicans, because if the Democrats are not a generic Democrat, so any Democrat, right? This is basically gauging American voters' frustration with Republicans being led by Donald Trump, but also Republicans in the House of Representatives and the U.S. Senate basically blindly following Donald Trump. The Democrats barely have an advantage, and I don't know what the hell it's going to take. Part of it is, I think, the perception that the Democrats are weak because the tent is so big and there's so many issues. There's no clear defining direction for Democrats, and that's always been their problem. And the amount of communication that Democrats have to do to articulate where they are on the major issues is extremely difficult because Democrats don't utilize media the way Republicans do. So it's always much more difficult for Democrats to communicate what their message is, but also because there is so much effective conservative media. And now conservative media is podcasters, too. It's not just Fox News, and it's not just whatever conservative talk radio may exist in this country. It's a lot of podcasters like Tucker Carlson and other folks. They are able to carry the message, the prevailing message of Republicans very well, but then also destroy the Democrats. And if there is a perception, and there is one, that the Democrats are the party for illegal immigrants and free welfare and for black people and being soft on crime, because the Democrats want to give rehabilitation to everybody instead of locking people's asses up, then that is going to hurt as well. That is why I believe the Democrats are barely beating a fascist because they are very ineffective at defining who they are. And you can't be anti-Trump. That doesn't work anymore. I don't know if it ever worked. Come to think of it, Joe Biden didn't win in 2020 by being anti-Trump. There was a frustration with policing in America. There was compounded frustration with COVID, with businesses being closed and society being limited. You couldn't travel. You had to wear a damn mask. I think wanting to get COVID behind us by believing in fact and science and having more robust vaccine distribution, because I think that was the problem with the Trump administration at the time. They were distributing vaccines actually very well, Operation Warp Speed, but at the same time, they were creating skepticism on the damn vaccines. And Joe Biden was like, hey, let's get all the vaccines out to everybody. Let's not be skeptical and let's get back to normal. I think Joe Biden won on that, not being anti-Trump. Kamala Harris ran an exceptionally anti-male, anti-patriarchy, anti-Trump campaign, and she lost. So being anti-Trump simply is not enough. For me, it is. But for other voters that want to see much more detail, it's not enough. And I just hope that the Democrats come up with a better strategy and plan, set of ideas, than just talking about how bad Donald Trump is, because to some people, he ain't that bad. All right, what else we got here since we're poll dancing? Oh, let's look at the New York mayor's race, which I typically wouldn't do because I don't care what New York does. I never even been to New York. I've been close to it. I never been to it. But because you have a Bernie Sanders flavored Muslim American man named Zoran Mamdani, who is leading in the polls to be the next mayor of New York, running against Andrew Cuomo and a Republican, Chris Silva. Mamdani is the clear favorite. He's a Democratic socialist. He is far left of center. He is more left than me and most of the people that you know. And because, like I just mentioned previously, the Democrats don't have a damn identity, being anti-Trump doesn't necessarily say what you're for. Now, I can tell you what the Democrats' party platform is, but it can't come from me. It's got to come from them. I can tell you where they are on health care and education and college affordability and helping working class people. I can tell you where the Democrats are on all those issues, but I'm not running for public office, nor would I. Ain't no way. I got a story right here in front of my face. This is a 22-year-old college student. He just announced that he's running for governor. Go ahead, buddy. Ain't no way I'd run for office. People, if they don't like you nowadays, if you're an elected official, they'll kill you. No thanks. Over here trying to help people. If I get elected and somebody wants to shoot me, ha! No thanks. The AARP Gotham poll from October 14th and October 15th have the Democrat. No, this is Mamdani. He is leading in the polls for the New York mayor's race. The 2025 New York City mayoral election features Democrat Zoran Mamdani, Independent Andrew Cuomo, and Republican Chris Silva. Polls indicate that Mamdani holds a substantial lead in the three-way race, though it narrows in head-to-head scenarios without Silva. Am I saying his name right? Sliwa. Whatever. He's a Republican. He's not going to win in New York. The reason why this race is important is because if the Democratic Socialists, Zoran Mamdani, wins the mayor's race in New York, nationally the Democrats may say, hey, this dude won. Let's adopt his platform and then have Democrats that are running for House seats in the U.S. Senate, maybe even some gubernatorial races, also adopt his Democratic Socialist platform. Because the Democrats have no identity, they are likely to assume an identity of a Democrat that won in these anti-Trump times. I think it's a bad idea because New York and New York City politics is not transferable to Milwaukee. Nor do I want it to be. If I wanted New York politics, I take my ass to New York. I don't want to go to New York. New York costs too much, and New York has got a bunch of Trump towers in it. Fox News even has Mamdani leading 51%. Andrew Cuomo, who's a very familiar commodity in New York, he's at 30%. Cuomo is not even, and Cuomo is an actual traditional moderate Democrat, but because Mamdani has such a lead as the Democrat. Cuomo's like, I'm going to run as an independent so I can advance to the general election, because Cuomo would have lost in the primary because Mamdani just swept through the primary. The Quinnipiac poll has Mamdani at 46% and Cuomo at 33%. So of the two leading contenders in the New York mayor's race, the two Democrats, the Democratic Socialist is leading by double digits. Let's look at congressional approval, shall we? Congressional approval ratings reflect public satisfaction with the U.S. Congress as a whole, the House and the Senate combined amid the ongoing government shutdown. Okay, here we go. The Gallup poll, and Gallup took their time conducting this poll. This poll was over 2 weeks from October 1st through October 16th. 15% of the people in this country approve of Congress, 79% disapprove. That is a net negative of 64%. So we're mad at Congress. Ballotpedia poll conducted October 21st, 2025, 27% of Americans approve of Congress, 65% disapprove. And the Harvard Capps Harris poll conducted at the beginning of the month has a 32% approval rating for Congress and a 68% disapproval. So the Harvard poll was conducted October 1st and 2nd, and that was at 32%. The Ballotpedia poll was conducted on the 21st, and that's a 27% approval. And the Gallup poll was conducted October 1st through 16th. That's a 15% approval. So it looks like Congress's approval has gone up slightly in the last couple of weeks. Let's talk to Tiffany. You're on 101.7 The Truth.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good. Good morning. I love your show. I actually shared your comment this morning about the effect of the SNAP benefits only affecting 4 million black households and 15 million white households. I used to work for a department that issues that, so I understand the truth, and a lot of people don't know that. But when I was listening, you were comparing the platforms, and I'm open to learn, and I'm not anti-male, but you said Kamala Harris, part of her platform, was anti-male. So I guess maybe I missed it. What made you say that? What made you think that?
So when I say anti-male, basically how Donald Trump and his cronies have been running the country, how they have run roughshod over women's rights. And she said a lot of things defending women and defending women's rights, which could be taken as men have screwed up a woman's right to choose. Even though I technically think the family planning and abortion is a family issue, Kamala wanted to galvanize women because she wanted to pick up where Hillary Clinton failed. And because she also was speaking to women, because women are the voters in this country. Women decide who gets elected to every damn thing. White women in particular, but women in general are the majority voters. So having an anti-Trump, anti-male platform is speaking to the overwhelming majority of voters in this country. And here's the thing. I'm not upset that she ran an anti-male campaign, because I totally get it. I run an anti-male campaign, too, if I thought I could win with it. But she was just doing what was politically expedient, and we didn't mind. She also was transgenders. They can play in the sports, which, I have my opinions on that. But I was like, whatever, Kamala, whatever you got to say to these people to get the win. But she didn't win.
Okay, so like more anti-male in like historic form, like the negative male, not just like all males. Yeah, okay.
Men on the U.S. Supreme Court made the decision to overturn Roe versus Wade, and I think she did an expert job of saying, look at the people that are responsible for this, Samuel Alito, Brett Kavanaugh, et cetera, et cetera. Clarence Thomas.
Thank you so much for your show, though. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me.
Oh, you're welcome, Tiffany. Call us anytime. Our lines are usually open.
Okay.
All right, then, Tiffany. Tiffany says she wants to know how Kamala was anti-male. It's easy to be anti-male. Are men just getting thrown under the bus? Aren't we all narcissistic? And what else we're abusive? We took away a woman's right to choose. What else do men do? We clearly abuse our power and our authority. Men are just bad. We're horrible partners. What else do they say about us? Oh, we don't contribute around the house. We're not very helpful. Sure. If you are a woman running a nationwide 50-state campaign, let's think about this practically now. And if you want to appeal to women, The best way you can appeal to women is by bashing men. Now, here's why I'm actually okay with it. I'm not really impacted. And maybe that's the wrong thing to say, but if a woman is like, oh, all men are terrible and I hate men, I'm like, yeah, well, it doesn't really change the trajectory of my life. But let me give you another example because I'm probably sounding crazy to some of y'all right now. We let racial minorities talk about white people any old kind of way, and most white people shrug it off. The things that I may say, and when I bring up things about white folks and whiteness, it's white supremacy. It's not individual white people, right? But if a white person with the same media platform talked about blackness and black power and black strength and black unity, if they talked about it negatively, they would get in a lot of trouble, right? We allow people of minority status to get away with a lot when it comes to how they use language, right? I could say all sorts of things about white people. Most of y'all would just laugh about it. No white people are calling for me to get fired. Every now and again, Dan O'Donnell gets his little panties in a bunch. I bet he wears cute little thongs, too. But every now and again, they might get a little angry and they might send a couple of poorly worded, often misspelled emails trying to get me fired. But for the most part, as an African American in this city, I can say all sorts of things about white people that white people cannot say about me. Like, so women can also say a whole bunch of really horrible things about men, and we just kind of shrug it off because we give latitude to people in protected classes and minority status to say whatever they want, right? If somebody in a wheelchair makes fun of able-bodied people, talking about all the advantages that we have, and there's a specific kind of privilege. I don't know what it's called, but if you have able-bodied privilege, maybe that's what it is. Like, I would let somebody in a wheelchair talk all sorts of crap about me. Abe, thank you, Zach. Zach said it's called ableism. I have ableism because I can kick a soccer ball with both legs, and I can run. But somebody with no legs can't run or kick a soccer ball. They got to, like, punch the soccer ball. Because if you have no legs, you can't kick the soccer ball. It's more of a punch because you got arms and no legs, right? So it's not funny. So if someone with no legs makes fun of me because I'm able, I'll be like, oh, I wouldn't even get mad because I'm thinking to myself, you can make fun of me all you want because I'd rather be me, right? And I think men, knowing what our lives are like, and our lives are not perfect as men, and we suffer too, but nobody really cares. It is what it is. But knowing the lives and vulnerabilities and trajectories of women, we would still rather be men. So if women say negative things about us, it doesn't impact us nearly as bad as if we as men say negative things about women. Let me tell you why. Because men with a negative sentiment about women can take rights away from women. Women can't take anything away from us. White people that say negative things about black people, it's not always just talk. If white people banded together as a group, as a unit, as a body politic, don't like certain things about black people, they can take our rights. They can make it harder for us to vote. They can make it more difficult for us to get loans from banks, etc. They can use their power to do real institutional and structural damage, right? Where me as a black person, I don't care how much I can't stand white folks and white supremacy. I can't stop a single white person from voting. If all of our black asses got together and said, we're going to redistrict white Republicans out of Congress, it would never happen. So they afford us language. We can say whatever we want about white folks, but they know that we don't have any kind of power to have an impact on them. Now, we can boycott stuff. Remember when we used to boycott stuff? Remember that? But even when we do that, we as black folks still need help from other groups to also fortify the boycott. Last boycott I remember was, I think it was McDonald's. There's been a few, but it was a McDonald's, and I think it was on a Friday. Because I remember talking about it the day before. It was this year, it's a few months ago, maybe this summer. And I'm driving into work that morning of the boycott, and there's a McDonald's on like 26th in Wisconsin. I drive past it every morning. And I'm like, oh, this is boycott day. Ain't nobody going to be at this McDonald's. The line was wrapped around the building, and that was supposed to be McDonald's boycott day. We'll take a break, come back, do a little more pole dancing, see what else we have when it comes to voter sentiment right now, and do the Democrats have any kind of a chance of reclaiming the House of Representatives, the U.S. Senate, and some governor's races come next year, November 2026. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Are you ready to level up your mindset, your money, and your future? Join Coach Erica Odom, real estate investor, success coach, and published author of our monthly show On the Journey with Coach Erica. Every month, she will give you real strategies, proven tips, and the mindset shift you need to reach your goals. Join us October 28th at 6 p.m. and she'll be joined by William Lyons Edwards, founder of Knowledge Born Publishing and 84 Lawn Care, and Ed Headings, founder of Work Boots and Go Time Trucking. That's On the Journey with Coach Erica, Tuesday, October 28th at 6 p.m. on 101.7 The Truth.
It's 101.7 The Truth. Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Sometimes teams take a timeout to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Gina Della and her team at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin always have the winning game plan. Check out the championship caliber play call this month. A whole house of beautiful, new, energy-efficient Pella windows for as low as $297 a month, and get this, 0% interest for up to 60 months. That's like running a drive that keeps moving the chains with no penalties and no interest. And I can tell you from my experience, Pella windows actually stop the drafts. You'll stay comfortable no matter how cold it gets outside. Think about it. Energy savings, comfort, and a great monthly payment you can actually manage. That's why I trust Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and why this is the right time to make your move. Call today and schedule your free consultation at PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 10/31 of 2025.
The WIAA football playoffs is here, and you know what that means. Win or go home. Tune in this Friday night as the 7th-seeded Marquette Hilltoppers begin their quest for a state championship as they travel to take on the 2nd-seeded Sussex Hamilton Chargers. The football action kicks off at 7 p.m. on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Marquette Hilltoppers football is presented by Gruber Law Offices and sponsored by Left's Lucky Town, C.G. Schmidt, Capital Insurance Agency, Boyle Fredrickson, Annex Wealth Management, Magic Productions, and Burghardt Sporting Goods.
Tip-off week is more than just the start of Bucks basketball. It's the start of a new season of memories. The raucous crowd, the thrill of every bucket, and the spectacular moments you'll talk about all year long. Whether you come with family, friends, or coworkers, we're all in for cheering Fear the Deer. Nothing compares to the energy of Bucks basketball at Fiserv Forum. Don't miss your chance to be a part of the action from the very beginning. Get your tickets now at bucks.com/tickets. That's bucks.com/tickets.
Don't let a trade-in get in the way of the phone you want. Now you can get $1,000 off any phone with no trade-in required, and we'll pay off your current contract when you switch. U.S. Cellular, built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
Join Marketplace Wisconsin on December 10th and 11th, where contract-ready small businesses meet buyers, partners, and mentors. Register now at marketplacewisconsin.com. That's marketplacewisconsin.com.
Hurt by a truck? Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Specific approval ratings for the U.S. Senate alone are less commonly polled separately from overall Congress. Available data focuses on individual senators or delegations, but overall Senate approval often tracks closely with congressional ratings in the low teens to low 30s. Morning Consult poll conducted from July to September, the average net approval for Senate delegations does vary by state, with top senators like Bernie Sanders at plus 42 net approval amongst their constituents. A Pew poll conducted in the late September days, 69% of Republicans approve of the GOP Senate leaders. Only 37% of Democrats approve of Democratic leaders. That is crazy. Republican voters still love their Republican members of the U.S. Senate, even though they're not even doing anything for them. This U.S. Senate and House of Representatives, this Congress, is just doing stuff for Trump. So that's enough pole dancing for a while. I'm terribly disappointed by that information, but thus is American politics. Can we just go back for a moment and just be a little nostalgic and think back to when the Barack Obama was president? I use Obama as an example because how in the hell were we once that country and now we're this one? When the biggest political fights were how we were going to administer affordable health care program and give subsidies to people that could afford it, when one of the biggest issues that we had aside from the wars that we were in were whether Barack Obama was wearing a tan suit or not. I think the other issue that circulated in the background, especially with hindsight being 2020, is it was a real lesson for people who weren't really students of American politics, but when Barack Obama served his 2 terms, there was something that became painfully obvious. African Americans were in a slightly better position. More jobs had been created. Our incomes were going up. The economy was doing much better. But there were still some pretty major disparities. And the simple person would say, hey, we had 2 terms of a black president. How come he didn't do more for black people? He was president. How come he couldn't do everything? How come he couldn't erase 238 years of systemic, institutional racism and oppression? How come Barack Obama, being a good president for 2 terms, couldn't change the minds of white people? How come there's still racism after Barack Obama, right? The simple person would say he didn't do enough for black people because black people do still suffer disproportionately along these very specific measures, a wage gap and a skills gap and an income gap and an education gap, whatever the case may be. People were actually saying that they wanted Barack Obama to do more and to be more for black people. And that's not a stretch to say that there were some disaffected black folks that he didn't do enough for us. Even to this day, they won't even look at the environment in which Barack Obama was in. He had to deal with racism and hatred, and something else that's not publicized that people need to know about, the number of death threats that Barack Obama got were more numerous and more frequent than any other president prior to. Now, I don't know what Trump's death threat numbers are, but they're probably up there. But Obama got a ton of them. You remember the dude that tried to scale the White House? He did. He scaled the White House fence and was trying to run through the White House with a knife trying to kill Obama. Obama had all sorts of threats, no? But we failed to conceptualize the nation in which black people can be judged every moment of every day based upon generalizations and stereotypes. Barack Obama got elected in that same country. And I don't know why people think if someone gets elected that they are above race and racism. If somebody gets elected and you're black, you can't just do everything for black people. I just wish that black people better understood racism because we don't. And if we don't understand it, we can't explain it to our damn kids. And so they're going to grow up in this system repeating our same mistakes. The more successful you become, the more you accomplish as a black person, the more racist they get. Not the least racist, the more. Donald Trump is a beautiful example of that. Holy smokes, Barack Obama didn't have any scandals. Him and Joe Biden created 15 million jobs. They got us out of the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. The home foreclosure crisis was mitigated. Interest rates were low. The economy was doing a fantastic job. Everybody was happy again, right? So then what was the response to that? The worst possible human being that could ever occupy the White House. It wasn't, oh my gosh, Barack Obama was a nice guy. People liked him. His first piece of legislation was the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act, where now women by law have to get paid the same as men. He did a lot of really, really great stuff. And the country's response was more racism. We think in Milwaukee, beautiful example. But this is the simple mind that can't comprehend that. And I'm worried about the simple mind, because the simple mind, even when you provide it with new and updated information and data, it's too obstinate to even change its position, even when given new and updated information. We have black county executive in Milwaukee County. We have a black mayor in the city of Milwaukee. We have a black sheriff. We have a black police chief. We have a black chairwoman of the Milwaukee County Board. 8 of the 15 members, meaning a majority of the Milwaukee Common Council, which is the legislative branch of city government, are African American. I don't think there's any. I think our whole municipal court is black. Who's the municipal? Is Val Hill still there? She's got to be. Where else would she be? I don't even know who's on the municipal court, but I don't think there ain't no white folks on it. And look at where Milwaukee is right now. Look at all that black leadership. So one or two things is going to happen. People are going to think that black people in leadership positions are stupid. Because holy smokes, Milwaukee, why are you still poor? Why are you still hopeless? Why are you still helpless? How come your kids still can't read and they're performing poorly in school? You got a black mayor, you got a black county executive, you got a black chairwoman of the county board, the majority of the members of the common council, the legislative branch of the city government is all black. How come black people are doing so bad? So either all those black people are stupid and ineffective, or racism is more powerful than being an elected official. It's one or the other. Which one is it? A lot of folks wanted Barack Obama to do everything for black people, just like on a local level, the simple mind thinks, oh, we have all these black elected officials. Black folks should be doing better. You think white folks are just going to surrender? You think they're just going to, oh, well, there's blacks elected all over the place. Give them everything that they've been asking for, all of the things that they have been deprived. Give them their reparations and make everything fair. Let's have quotas at jobs, and all the black people we didn't hire, let's all of a sudden hire them. You think the white folks are going to do that? Why would they? Something else that might be an uncomfortable truth, but we have to wrestle with this. White people don't have to help us at all. Because think about this for a second. If they don't, what happens to them? I mean, a few of them are going to die too, because when they cut out programs that we can oftentimes qualify for, when they eliminate those programs, some white folks qualify for those programs too. But if they don't help us, what price do they pay? What consequence is there? If you see a health disparity between black pregnant mothers and white pregnant mothers, and if you don't address it, what happens? More black women are going to die, right? Do you think that they lose sleep over that? If black children aren't reading at the same level as the average white child, do you think that white people who control the education pedagogy in this country are going to lose sleep over that? Absolutely not. They're going to celebrate it. If they do not help us, they pay no consequence. But we seem to think that they should be helping us and go out of their way to make us whole. Why would they do that? Would the Green Bay Packers just hand the ball to the Chicago Bears and say, you know what, we've been beating you Bears for a long time. Go ahead and score you a couple of touchdowns on us. Absolutely not. If the Green Bay Packers are up 32-0, they want to go up 39-0. If they're up 39-0, they want to go up 46-0. That is how white supremacy looks at black people. And the more successful we get, the more racist they become. Now, this is not telling people that they shouldn't pursue all the success they can get their hands on. You just have to be aware. You may have earned your way to the top spot in the company, in management. You worked hard. You worked harder than everybody else to get into that boardroom. And you're in there with them. And you earned it. they don't believe you're worthy. Even though and here's the thing, they know you had to work harder than them to get there, because those same people you may be in the boardroom with were the ones that were trying to stifle your success the whole way. But you finally made it. Do you think they're ever going to see you as an equal? They will not. But here's the thing. They don't need to. All you need to know is you were in the same boardroom as them. We wanted Barack Obama to do more for black people because he's a black president. And we complained about all the ways America was unfair, and then boom, you get a black president. Well, didn't happen. But I will tell you this. White men feel the exact same way. They feel that black folks have done too much, gotten too much, advanced too far. Even though we still lag, a lot of us are educated. Do you know that more than 50% of African Americans make better than $60,000 a year? The majority of African Americans are not poor. The majority of African Americans in this country are middle class. And for some people, that's a problem, because how on God's green earth did black people become economically competitive? Because if we're economically competitive, we might be taking jobs from good, God-fearing white people. So part of the motivation to vote for Donald Trump was the anti-DEI backlash, because if there are white people in white communities and white neighborhoods that might be experiencing higher levels of poverty because of the economy or higher levels of joblessness, they're going to blame immigrants, of course, and we're going to deport all of them. But then they're also going to be blaming black people in DEI and affirmative action. That's why affirmative action was declared unconstitutional by this U.S. Supreme Court. I'm going to take a break. And when I come back, I'm going to show you how the Donald Trump anti-DEI policies are helping white men the way that we wanted Barack Obama to help black men, except Barack Obama and his administration helped everybody. Donald Trump is only helping his people. I'm going to talk about that next. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be back shortly.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are much closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 101.7 The Truth.
And what are some of the ways that you're inspiring people? Because, you know, one of the biggest opportunities, in particular in the African-American community, is access, exposure, and awareness.
For Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin, we've been here 76 years.
Wow.
And our mantra is saving the lives you love. So if someone you love needs a blood transfusion and they're in any hospital in Southeast Wisconsin here, that blood's coming from us. And so we're trying to make sure that we're communicating that, because I think folks maybe don't understand that blood can't be manufactured. And summers are always tough because schools are out and we collect about 20 to 25% of our blood from schools. Mm-hmm. So it's always a day-to-day struggle. We say that the blood that's on the shelves is the blood that saves lives. And a lot of times people are compelled to donate when something bad happens. And our mission and our job is to educate folks so that we can get ahead of the curve and keep 3 days of inventory on the shelves. Mm-hmm. So we're in a decent spot right now, but we're on the streets every day trying to inspire people to join our mission. One of our big projects that we're proud of is Versity on King, which is part of the Thrive On collaboration in the Gimbel Schuster building on Martin Luther King Drive. And next year, we're going to open a destination center there. It'll be a blood donation center, but it'll be more than that, because we've realized that we can't be transactional with our relationships in the Black community. We need to do things that are intentional and that show that we're there to stay. But the reason that we're there is because not enough people that look like us donate. And so for disorders like sickle cell disease that disproportionately affect us, the race can matter. But I like to say that, Black folks have a superpower in their blood. 44% of Black blood donors will have this rare trait that makes their blood more likely to be able to be a match for a sickle cell patient. And that 44%, like that is way higher than what we would find in other races.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit versity.org today. This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
If we, or some of us, wanted Barack Obama to do a lot of things for black people, black men in particular, because he is a black man. Some of you guys are questioning Barack Obama's race, but I assure you, had it been 150 years earlier, Barack Obama would have been on an auction block, so he's black. Okay? And we wanted him to do a whole bunch of stuff for black people, and we thought that was reasonable and that was fair. Well, to some white people, that probably wouldn't be reasonable and fair. So what if white men wanted Donald Trump to do things for them? Because remember, now being a white man is a very disadvantaged position, they think. They think that they're being discriminated against. There's this whole concept of reverse racism. White men think that they're getting passed up for jobs and for promotions because of, black people and illegal immigrants. Like, they're really suffering. If you ever talk to a conservative white man who's maybe in his 40s, he's in really bad shape. Their life expectancy is lower, lots of drug use, drug overdose, a lot of alcoholism, a lot of suicide. It's actually very sad. White men believe that they are the modern day victims, and Donald Trump is their savior. He is going to do things for them. And I can't even get mad at them for wanting Donald Trump to do things for them, even if it's at the expense of us. And I know that sounds hypocritical, but we wanted, as black people, to get things and receive things at the expense of white folks. Because here's how we could justify it as a black person. Well, white people have had all the advantages. It's our turn now. We need to get all the stuff that the white people got because they stole it from us and they cheated. So we need to put white people in the second-class citizenship position so that black people can be made whole. That's not a far-fetched argument. I can make that argument all day long, where we have been held back, left back, deprived, discriminated against, segregated, Jim Crow, lynchings, all that stuff. And it had an impact on black people, black culture, black family, right? Stacking us in housing tenements and then policing the housing tenements and all the police brutality. Black people not being able to serve on juries, even though we were the only witnesses to certain crimes. There was literally nobody to testify against a white man that murdered a black child. All those things had a negative impact on black people, black life, black culture, black success, black hope, right? And I could say, hey, black people need to be made whole because of all those things. And maybe it comes at the expense of white people. I could even go further and say, these corporations that have the millions and the billions and the billions and the billions, that's our money. You made money off the slave trade. We're deserving of that money. We don't care if you owe your shareholders that money, and that's our money. So we will want our restitution and reparation from the white people and the white institutions that stole from us. Like, that's a legitimate argument, right? But what if the tables were turned? And this is what we always have to be mindful of. I don't know if you guys remember this, but there was a conversation about reparations where I think it was Steve Bannon that said, white people need to get reparations too because they've lost out because of all this affirmative action, all this DEI. So whatever idea or program that we come up with to make us whole, if white people feel like they are discriminated against, here's the thing. They have the power to give themselves reparations. We do not. With Trump, DEI backlash, white men are making gains in the boardroom, and this story appears in USA Today. Following the national uprising over the murder of George Floyd, corporations sought out more women and people of color to diversify their boards of directors. For a time, the once ironclad dominance of men, especially white men, in the corporate boardroom appeared to be slipping. Over the last 5 years, racial and ethnic representation rose 20%, and female representation 18% in companies included in the Russell 3000 Index, according to data and analytics from ISS Corporate. That's an analytics firm. Today, the boardrooms of the nation's largest companies have never been more diverse. I would consider that a win. Let me continue. But the new data shows that diversity, equity, and inclusion backlash is shifting boardroom demographics, once again eroding the gains made by women and people of color as corporations hire white men at their fastest rate in decades. This year, women accounted for a third of new board hires in the S&P 500. That's the 500 most biggest companies in the country, down from a high of 44% in 2022. The ISS Corporate says executives of color made up 19% of new hires, now down 19% of new hires, down from 44% in 2021. White men are the majority of the individuals who are benefiting from those gains. Why don't we do this? We'll take a break, come back, talk to Al, and then we'll have a further discussion, I suppose, on what black people wanted Barack Obama to do for them. Donald Trump is doing for white men in particular. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com. Milwaukee Panthers basketball is back. On Saturday afternoon, the Panthers host the UW Parkside Rangers.
4 seconds left in the half. KP contested three. Oh, Pullian buried it at the buzzer. 5-on-4. Folks lob it up. Johnny Lovelace Jr. sends it in.
Scott Warris has the coverage Saturday starting at 12:30 p.m. on 101.7 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off happens at 1 o'clock.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 101.7 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axehousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
Ready to hit the road in your new car? At Brewery Credit Union, we make it easy with affordable payment options on auto loans designed to fit your budget. Whether it's a brand new ride or the perfect used vehicle, we'll help you get behind the wheel faster. With flexible terms, quick approvals, and personalized service you can trust. Don't wait. Start your journey today. Apply online at brewerycu.com or visit us at Brewery Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA.
The WIAA football playoffs is here, and you know what that means. Win or go home. Tune in this Friday night as the 7th-seeded Marquette Hilltoppers begin their quest for a state championship as they travel to take on the 2nd-seeded Sussex Hamilton Chargers. The football action kicks off at 7 p.m. on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Marquette Hilltoppers football is presented by Gruber Law Offices and sponsored by Left's Lucky Town, C.G. Schmidt, Capital Insurance Agency, Boyle Fredrickson, Annex Wealth Management, Magic Productions, and Burkhart Sporting Goods.
Join us for the Greater Milwaukee Urban League's annual Black and White Ball on November 1st at the Bear Center. This elegant evening supports vital programs in employment, education, and economic opportunity for our community. Enjoy an unforgettable performance by national recording artist Sean Hinton and step out in your finest black and white attire and be part of something transformative. It's not too late to be a sponsor or reserve your seats by visiting gmul.org. That is gmul.org. The Black and White Ball. Building brighter futures together.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
This year, women accounted for a third of new board hires in the S&P 500, down from a high of 44% in 2022. Executives of color made up 19% of new board hires, and that's down from 44% in 2021. White men were a majority of new director hires for the first time since 2017. These top leadership posts confer prestige, power, and a much larger paycheck. Quote, this seems to be a part of the broader pendulum shift away from a focus on diversity that we have seen over the past couple of years in corporate America, said Jolene Emerson, CEO of culture and inclusion platform Paradigm Strategy. Could you imagine a white man saying, hey, this isn't fair. All these women and people of color and minorities and black people are getting promoted and getting these board positions and getting these CEO positions. That's not fair to us. Hey, Donald Trump, help us. Donald Trump eliminated DEI everywhere in the federal government, and then corporate America will follow. Because for a period of time, it was politically expedient to be nice to black people. We're going to give black people opportunities. Even DoorDash had a little section. Remember DoorDash had a little section? These are black-owned restaurants. That was so patronizing. Even Amazon did it for a little while. These are black companies here on Amazon if you want to order your stuff from black people. And then it all went away. You had to have a real open mind to conceptualize what I'm about to say. If black people wanted to make gains at the expense of white people, and we could justify it by saying segregation, Jim Crow, racism, de jure segregation, de facto segregation, all of those things that we know contributed to the gaps that we see between black people and white people. And if we want somebody like Barack Obama, or our general conversations about having black leadership, if we want to make gains as black people, because we can show you throughout history where we have been held back, and we want those gains to come at the expense of white people and white men, most black folks would be perfectly fine with that. But we also have to be mindful, what if the tables are turned? What if white people and white men think that they have not been given gains and given opportunities because of black people? Then that pendulum is going to shift back toward them, and Donald Trump is going to say, you know what, you're right, white man, you have been suffering because of all this diversity we've been focused on. We have been so fixated on trying to make black people whole that we have been harming good, God-fearing white people. Well, that ends today, so says Donald Trump. Let's eliminate anything that has anything to do with DEI. Now, I'm being somewhat facetious when I say this, but if we wanted a black president to do things for us, then why wouldn't a white president do things for white people? Let's talk to Al. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
I'm doing good. First of all, white men ain't never been without because they got white privilege and the skin color. See, the thing with white men is they don't mind looking like a damn fool. That's why they choose to get effed in the ass by this orange man. So they don't have a problem with that. That's why they like it. That's why they probably took that video down I put on your thing, because a woman was in the shower and she pulled a condom out of her husband's behind, and that had to be a magnum.
Al, you're going to get me banned. Don't do that.
No. No, it wasn't like graphic or nothing. They wasn't naked or nothing, but it was just, proving a point. Also, for black people, if black people want to go ahead, you're going to have to hit the reset button. And my black brothers, y'all always come, y'all voted for Trump, and y'all down with and you've got so much to say about the LGBT, but you 304 silent when it comes to some of y'all giving black women HIV.
Oh, good Lord.
Because y'all ain't talking about that. And y'all very quiet about that. With that old nasty man juice you got. You ain't taking no cranberry juice for your pH balance. You ain't taking no doxylamine. You ain't on no prep. You're not even urinating after you ejaculate. But then you'll sit up here, look down on black women when you got a black mama that raised your black ass. But then you got all these issues with black women. But these black women coming down with HIV. You're quiet in 100 MFs about that bull sugar honey iced tea. Moving forward. Here's the problem that black people got.
Uh-oh.
Y'all hate slavery, but you love Christianity. I never could understand that. And then y'all are always trying to play good to these cottage cheese ass white people. And you trying to play the best. You don't have to play the best. They step on your foot, you step on their whole body. Then the other thing is, you praise God more than you praise your ancestors. And all God did was sit on his sugar honey iced tea box and watch and did nothing. If black people want to take control, they're going to have to stay 10 toes down. You're going to have to find your craft and turn it into a business. Stop playing fair. Seek out the weak and go after the goddamn strong. But see, for some reason with black people, we got to show we are civilized. We got to show we good people. Let me tell you something. These white people know you white. These white people know you good people. That's why they do what they do. You don't see them going after the Jews. And the Jews treating them like straight tricks. And they getting all the money. You see them calling your show, yelling about the Jews? Yeah. Do you see them getting mad at the orange man, treating them like little nickel whores? Nope. And they're going to be the one out here with their stomach coming out their back like a new tattoo. You hear any of these racist white folks talking anything? Nope. Because they was raised to be snakes and they don't mind kissing his ass. But I needed to share this. But until black people hit the reset button and they decide that they are the commodity and that they are the God and they got more power than God because you on earth, then they will get changed. But till then, if y'all want to do it your way, stand in line and wait. Have a good day. And all of these racist white people, I was to tell you to kiss something, but y'all not good on your hygiene when it comes to your mouth. So I ask you politely, go F them your. Goodbye. Hey.
I'm not sure how that all happened because
I just work here.
Me too, actually. I come here for a few hours a day, and I try to present information and, like draw contrasts to make concepts a little clearer, and then it ended up being black men's fault some kind of way, so...
I don't know if that was a comment or a tattoo.
I don't know either. I'm not really sure. Like, how do we move forward from that?
Like, he sounded like he was venting.
A little bit. He had a little animosity there. That's fine. That's part of what we do here. We allow people to, to share their thoughts, positive and negative, right? Questions, comments, concerns. We allow people to share those. So, as I'm looking over at the phone, Bob is online too. So here's what I think we're going to do. We're going to hit the reset button. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to come back for hour 3, and we're going to talk to Bob. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. We'll be back shortly.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
So let me ask you, when the government, and again, I'm doing the air quotes, tightens the belt, who's standing underneath the belt when it snaps back?
This is The Truth Unfiltered with Denise Thomas and Dr. Ken Harris.
Don't want you to agree. Honestly, should I be transparent? I don't really care if you agree. I, like you, want to be heard.
Sundays starting at 7 on 620 WTMJ and Mondays at 6 on 1017 The Truth.
Tune in to the award-winning 1017 The Truth's Black Business Give Back Spotlight this Friday at 3:57 p.m. between The Tori Lowe Show and Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. We will be joined by Chandra Williams, CEO of Breast Cancer Models, Inc., where she will discuss how she turned her battle with breast cancer into an inspirational story for others to have the feeling of pretty again despite their cancer journey. So again, that is the Black Business Give Back Spotlight with Breast Cancer Models, Inc. this Friday at 3:57 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. How is it possible for somebody to be found guilty of something and serve no jail time? How is it possible that someone can get a first offense misdemeanor when it comes to marijuana here in the state of Wisconsin and can face up to 6 months in jail, but 2 men who are convicted of murder get probation? This is not what justice is about. Why does this keep happening, Truth Nation? And why does it always seem like black people die and we don't get the justice that we deserve? How should we react to this? If you commit a crime, you must do the time. If you take somebody's life, you have to pay the cost. I don't care that it was an accident because it does not make sense to me how someone can be murdered and somehow they get no time. Even if you accidentally kill somebody, you are still a murderer, especially when you plead guilty to felony murder. Marijuana will get you more time in jail than killing somebody, especially when it comes to a black man here in America, unfortunately.
Catch Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace every weekday from noon to 1 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
When I was diagnosed with Hodgkin lymphoma, I had so many questions. I didn't even know that it was cancer. Now I do. It is cancer. Blood cancer. It's actually one of more than 100 different types, and they're all treated differently. Now, unlike some other forms of cancer, usually there's no tumor. You can't screen for it to prevent it, and the symptoms can look like other things, so it could be hard to diagnose. I had a fever for weeks. I was so tired all the time. I didn't feel like eating or doing anything else for that matter. And I know that this can feel scary. But if you know what to look out for, you'll know what to tell your doctor. And you'll feel more empowered to take the next steps. Like getting in touch with the people who know the ins and outs and can help with everything blood cancer related. Blood Cancer United. They work one-on-one with each person who reaches out to answer questions and offer resources. Blood Cancer United was there for me, and they can be there for you.
Go to bloodcancerunited.org to learn more.
Truth Nation, stand up and tap in. This is 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
It's time! It's time!
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's. Y'all didn't think we was gonna do it again? Huh? What? MPP my name from the ghetto.
Welcome to Hour 3 of The Truth with me, Sherwin Hughes. Let's talk to. I'm scared it's going to be some cussing in it.
We know lemon soldiers. I know that told.
Talk to Bob. Bob is.
Hello.
Bob, let me answer.
Hello, sir.
Hey. Let me answer the phone first before we start talking.
Hello?
Let's start. Hold on. Start over. Hello, Bob. You're on the air. How are you? Now talk.
Hello, sir. Now, it's not enough white people calling your show. And so pretend I'm white.
Hold on. Wait. Oh, good God. Bob, why do we need white people to call on my show? What we need to hear from them for? We get to hear from white folks everywhere else in society. Walk out the house, watch TV, you see white folks. People that do local news broadcasts is all white folks. A lot of our elected officials are all white folks. Why white folks got to call my show?
Sherwin, because you bring up some points that a white man should elaborate on.
They don't need to. Why white folks ain't got to explain nothing to us? I don't do my show for them to call and explain themselves because a lot of times there is no explanation. So, no, don't think white folks need to call my show.
It would be hard for me to come behind Al. I'm sure, but I'm going to try. Number one.
It would be hard for you to come behind Al. I believe that, buddy. Hard for anybody to come behind Al.
It's hard. However, just don't bring up Trump because I get sick. And it reminds me of when I'm listening sometimes to Fox News. I get sick. I can't take it. But we voted Mr. Sherwin Hughes, Barack Obama in twice. What are you complaining about, sir? You can go to Florida. You can go to New Orleans. You can go here and there. What are you complaining about, Sherwin? We don't have slavery no more. So I don't see what you're complaining about so much. We knocked out a whole lot of Jim Crow.
Are you being sarcastic? Like, I can't tell if you're being serious.
Sure. Can you handle it? Can you answer the question? We voted Barack Obama in twice. What are you complaining about? If we was prejudiced, we wouldn't have voted him in. Just pretend I'm a white man. You know what I mean?
We're playing devil's advocate. I have to sit here and pretend like you're an actual white person and then respond to you like a white person would be asking those questions. And Bob, that's a game I don't want. That's a game I don't want to play because it's stupid. You're playing a stupid game because you're not a white person. And the only white people to call my show is Allen. I get a few whites. I don't get many because we don't need to hear from them. I hear from enough white people. Okay.
Sherwin, you don't want me to act like I'm a white fan and check you. You don't want that? Okay.
Bob, you can't check me as a white man, a black man, a gay woman. You can't check me if you were a transsexual. If you were an acrobat in the circus. It doesn't matter who you are, Bob. You could never check me because you just don't have the ability. Okay?
Yes, I can. I check you and Dr. Ken. I checkmate y'all and y'all move anyway. So I just
Dr. Ken, he's easy. Checkmate. I'll checkmate him on accident.
You will. I doubt it.
I don't.
Dr. Ken, but you don't feel like playing that game, huh, Sherwin?
Not with you. No, I don't want to play no game with you.
All right, Sherwin. That's all I had. I thought of today. I just have to get back to you when you bring up some more points. It's going to ignite me. Because, I thought I'd bring that up. Defending that white man. I mean, my goodness, you go to Florida, you can go to New Orleans. What are you complaining about? We voted Barack Obama in twice.
What is going to Florida and going to New Orleans have to do with a damn thing? What the hell was that sound? What was that?
You're not in slavery. That's what it has to do with it. You're not, you're slavery, you couldn't go, but now you can. What are you complaining about?
Bob, slavery has been over for 160 years. Like, that's not even a relevant example. So you're saying we should be happy. I get it. You're playing. A white man would say, oh, we're not enslaved and Barack Obama got elected twice. I should be happy about that. Slavery is not even a concept that enters my damn mind because I never was a slave. I can see if I was a slave and then I was free and somebody can remind me when I was a slave. But what is that sound? I'm going to kick somebody's ass. I'm going to fight somebody. What is the sound? Bob, is that you? Stop making that sound.
All right, let me get off the phone, man.
I don't even know what you're laughing at. What's going on? Why you gonna call my show laugh at me? Would I make you laugh? I'm here to amuse you. What's so funny about me? Marcus says, why does Al insist on trying to get you banned? I don't know. We have a Facebook group that corresponds with this show because a lot of times you guys want to share your thoughts and feelings about the show, and I'll also post links that I referenced during the program in that group. And so for a while, I allowed people to post whatever they wanted in the group without having the post to be approved. Okay, so I just screw it because I don't want to have to approve and my moderators to have to approve the post because sometimes the moderators and myself can't get to the Facebook group frequently enough to be able to approve people's posts, and we don't want people's posts hanging out pre-approved for 12 hours, right? So I was like, screw it. We'll just allow people to post whatever they want 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Horrible mistake. Horrible. Awful. All the things that you all post, very bad, very naughty, I don't even know how some of this stuff even gets on Facebook, and most of it is Al. A lot of profanity, a lot of freaky deaky stuff. So I said, well, we got to put the moderation back because I can't just let people that listen to this show that are also members of the Hughes Views Facebook group just post whatever they want because it was very bad, very, very graphic. Did you guys see what Al posted for Sweetest Day? Oh, people actually texted me because I didn't see it because that was back. So Sweetest Day. Can you read it? No, I can't even. No, I can't read it.
Why?
Because Al is giving a set of instructions of what you should do to your significant other on Sweetest Day. And no, I can't read any of it.
When he said it, was he talking about a man or a woman or both?
Probably a man, a woman, and a donkey.
Donkey?
Yeah, probably, and a llama. Probably all of the things he was talking about. So that was the week where I was like, oh, I'll just let people post whatever they want without pre-approval. And he was like, oh, happy Sweetest Day, everybody. Here, go do this, this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And I was like, oh, we got to stop. allowing people to just post whatever they want to. Because somebody texted me because I didn't see it. My friend, she was like, Sherwin, why did Al just post X, Y, Z, A, B, and C in the group? I was like, what? I didn't know what Al posted. So then I went to the group and I saw it and I was like, oh.
It must have been very detailed and visual.
Yep, it is. It's what do you think Al would say if he was uncensored of what you should do to somebody on Sweetest Day? Just imagine.
Even want to.
No, it's bad. It's very graphic. It's very naughty. What's wrong with you people?
I think Al is.
What? Say it. You might as well. No, come on.
No, I just said you said it's naughty. I think Al is very naughty.
Okay. Fonz Hawthorne says Barack Obama is not our kind. At least with me and you, we can trace our folks to Attala County. I'm not going to engage in that, Fonz. Black people, white people don't care where we're from or what we can trace our roots to. They hate us equally. I sometimes get frustrated with black people because in order for us to be considered authentic, we have to be judged amongst our lowest common denominator. Like, we got to keep it street. We got to keep it hood to be authentic. We're the only group that does that. Our least productive, least educated black people are the ones that are most authentic. That is black people living a caricature of themselves. That's literally us walking around as a damn minstrel show. To me, blackness is Benjamin Banneker. Blackness is Frederick Douglass. Blackness is excellence. Blackness is perfection that achieved what it achieved without having to steal, rape, pillage, human sex traffic, and have slaves. That, to me, is what blackness is. And any black person that exemplifies that, you my kind of people. I'm not going to come down on the black Republicans because it's just too easy, but I want to put them in a historical context. And I used this example before, and I think it's the best example I can get. Listen, you guys can vote for whoever you want to vote for, right? And you're going to. The point is, hopefully there's more of us that will vote for candidates that will ultimately be more productive in their policy making than non-productive. Like, that's the whole point of the game, right? But if there were black people that were willing to destroy their own community by selling dope to members of our own community, then there will be black people that will vote for candidates against the best interests of black people. Trumpism, especially when black Trumpers are platformed, you are promoting a political agenda that is intentionally harmful to black progress. And that's what I have a problem with. Now, I also know this. A lot of times people are misinformed, or they are undereducated, or they don't know how the system works. So the same person that thinks that Barack Obama, him being president, could eliminate all the disparities and eliminate all of the racism, that same person may vote for Donald Trump because they're a businessman. To me, they're both as ignorant. I don't see much difference in somebody saying, oh, I'm going to vote for Barack Obama because he's going to make black people whole and he's going to get rid of racism and black people are going to be rich and get all the reparations. If you believe that, then you also would believe that Donald Trump is a businessman and he's going to run this country like a business and you're going to be better off for it. I see no distinction between those two people, even though one of them voted for Barack Obama and the other one voted for Trump. The reasons why they voted for both of those very opposite candidates is based on their ignorance. Now, we may see the person that voted for Barack Obama as righteous, but if they voted for them with expectations that politics cannot provide, then the ignorance that they use as motivation to vote for Barack Obama is going to end up being hurtful when they vote in the next damn election. We just have to be just well-informed, you know what I mean? All right, let's take a break, come back, talk to whoever the hell that is on line one. Who is that? Well, we'll figure it out later. What's today? Today Friday yet? Nope, it's Thursday. Bucks won last night. That was cool. Oh, it's Linda. Look at that. All right, Linda, get your thoughts ready. And whatever your damn intro is, get your intro ready as well, Linda. You know what we should do, Rick?
What's that, Sherwin?
Should we make a song for Linda? An AI song?
Here you go with the AI. Sure.
All right, let me see.
What would it be called?
Freaky Deaky Chocolate Sister. Huh?
Really?
Why not?
That was very detailed.
I mean, she's very detailed. All right, I want to take a break, come back, and talk to Linda. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments. Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Contract-ready businesses, opportunity seekers, partnership builders, deal closers. Marketplace Wisconsin, the Governor's Conference on Diverse Business Development, is focused on you. This event puts small businesses like yours in the room with buyers, partners, and mentors who can open doors to bigger opportunities. Join us online December 9th and in person December 10th and 11th at Baird Center in downtown Milwaukee. Whether you're a construction company looking for contracts or a service provider ready to grow, Marketplace Wisconsin is for you. Meet one-on-one with government reps, corporate buyers, and resource providers. Small businesses like yours keep Wisconsin moving forward. Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation is here to propel your growth. So join them for Marketplace Wisconsin, the Governor's Conference on Diverse Business Development, December 10th and 11th. Register today at marketplacewisconsin.com. That's marketplacewisconsin.com. Presented by WEDC. Let's look forward together.
Your home has been working hard for you. Now it's time to let it work a little harder. With a home equity line of credit from Brewery Credit Union, you can turn the equity you've built into smart solutions. Pay off high-interest debt, remodel your kitchen, or take care of life's unexpected expenses with flexible access to funds when you need them. Apply today and put your home's value to work for you. Visit brewerycu.com or stop by Brewery Credit Union. Equal housing lender. Federally insured by NCUA.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
To help those who want to be helped, but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
All right, are you guys ready for this? All right, here we go.
She lights a candle just to set the mood. Soft whispers dancing through the quiet room. Her heart's a melody, a tender tune. She dreams of stars and velvet skies, of hands that hold and never lie. She's craving romance.
This sounds like a top 10 hit, Rick.
A little magic, a touch of mystery.
This is good. I like it. You don't like this, Rick? She's craving romance. I got another version. I got a remix.
Play the remix. The Diddy remix. Play it.
Let me see. It should be a little more up tempo. Maybe it's a little too slow.
Well, you said freaky dicky chocolate. What was it?
She lights a candle.
It's amazing that these vocals are artificial intelligence.
Saw whispers dancing through the quiet.
Shuck it, duck it, quack, quack. All right.
This is making me horny, actually. This is real good music.
Bottle of wine, candles.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on in here, girl. Lay down. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Rose petals on the bed. Linda, you're on 101.7 The Truth.
Good morning, Professor. Good morning to all the beautiful black and white people of Milwaukee and America. Hey, Sherwin. You ready for me?
No.
Oh. That's true. You probably not. Because you can't handle me. I'm sorry to tell you. But,
that's fine.
Sherwin,
what?
I got a couple of things. One is, I've been thinking about, this thing. As research students, we always delving into the source of things. And so I think that, this thing called racism and the, that story you gave us about Amy and her sons, Amy represents racism. But guess what? Guess who or what is the product or the child, the daughter and the son of racism? Prejudice and bias. Yes, it is. Because cognitive dissonance won't allow certain people to be right out racist, so then they resort to the comfort of prejudice and bias, thinking that, I'm not totally racist, I'm not totally hateful, I just don't like this person because of the whatever racist ideology they are succumbed to. And the other thing that I wanted to say about you, Sherwin, is that, you have an effect on people, on me, and I call it the Sherwin, as in W-I-N-D. And so one day I, had on my French leotard, and I said I'm going to go outside with my hands out. Hey! And I did. And so I, was taking the garbage out, and like I said, it's a French leotard, so it had the hip, and had the ass out. So I said, I'm going to go out there.
Hold on, Linda. Please stop for talking for just 1 second. You went and you took your garbage out with your ass out?
Yes, I did, sir. Because of you. You're one of those neighbors. And so I said, okay, I went through the garage to take the garbage out, right? And so when the garage door went up, here goes the couple in their car. I was like, oh, man. So I kind of stopped, right? And so I said, hey, this is Sherwin moment. So I just went on, took the garbage to the garbage, and shoot, when I was walking back, I kind of like picked that booty.
What?
Yes, I did. It was a Sherwin moment. That's what it was. I just wanted to share that with you. And someone did come and get the spider off my house. Good God Almighty! He was going to put it in the hedges. I said no. He might come back to the house. And so he took it and put it in the street. When he threw it in the street, do you know that fat joker bounced twice? That's how fat he was. For real. I was like, man. Whew.
All right, that's okay then, Linda. Let me tell you what.
Oh yeah, the other thing, Sharon.
Yeah.
This remapping, man, we need to do something about it because it's gaining momentum. More red states are doing it. How this is outrageous because. How is that effective? How is that going to impact the outcome of the midterms? Because, baby, we need to start getting serious about this midterm.
Can't get serious when your ass is hanging out, Linda. So I'm going to first ask you to make sure you don't do that.
Your ass be out? You had yours out?
Your butt do be out.
Linda, I don't I don't walk outside. I might be naked in my home. You had your ass out for the world to see, walking and taking your garbage out. That's different.
Said that you are one of those neighbors that walk outside naked.
I did not walk outside. Never said I walk outside naked.
Yeah, you said you one of those neighbors, naked neighbors, was your exact word.
I may be naked in my house with my shades up or my blinds open. I'm not walking outside with my tallywhacker swinging back and forth.
I had on a leotard, so it's just like a swimsuit.
Anything else, Linda?
I like to dress. I like to lounge in my house in sexy lingerie and leotard and relax, feminine things that are sexy because I'm sexy. What the, Talk to you later, Sherwin.
All right, then, Linda. All right. Says she wearing a leotard. I think she's leotarded is what she is. Why would she do that? Why would she? Does this happen on other radio shows? So when Steve Scafidi does his show with Kristen Bry, do people call and say, Steve, I was thinking about you and I had my ass out when I took my garbage out. My ass was out and then people was driving past. Do people call other radio shows? Because I don't listen to other radio shows. Does this happen on Tori Lowe's show? Do people call Tori Lowe's show and say, Tori, I was thinking about you. My ass was out. I was inspired by you, Tori. I did a neighborhood cleanup with my ass out. Nobody. What about Homer Blow and Bailey or Homer Blow and Dame Elsie? Do people call in to their show and talk about the nipples being exposed?
Nipples was out.
What about Kyle Wilde? Well, Kyle Wilde he waxed his junk, which was stupid. Why would you do that as a man? That's so ridiculous. That's not what men should do. That's not.
You don't wax?
No. Why would I do something like that? Hell no. That's disgusting. Hell no. Exactly. Why do I even? Who is this person? What does this person want? I'm scared to answer the phone now. Here, hold on. Hello? Gordon?
Yeah. Now, see, I called about a week ago about you having your ass out. Now, when I deliver my UPS package, I'm just gonna throw it on your porch. I'm not going by your window because I don't want to see somebody hairy ass. My boss told me you don't have to go to the door. So when I deliver my package next time, I'm just throwing it. You just gonna have to catch it from the grass or something. Because I'm tired of hearing you talk about your hairy ass all the time. So I'm disgusted, So you have a good day and cover up. Just say no. That's all I got to say.
I don't think that's very funny. Let me tell you something, Gordon. You're going to deliver that package and you're going to see this ass. You're going to see
no, I'm not going in. I told it. My boss told me I could just throw it on the porch.
Here's what I want you to do. Hand the package to me and do not break eye contact with me, Gordon. Look me directly in my face.
Man, you got to be kidding. I'm tired. I'm tired of hearing you talking about it. You going out in the backyard. You and kids. What's that other guy on the night show? He's talking about he's in the backyard, and squirrels bothering him. No, he's back there, showing his ass too. So in his backyard. So Dr. Kidd, you need to cover up too.
Dr. Kidd be showing that ass?
Oh man, he be in the backyard. So I've had a couple of drivers come over to me about Dr. Kidd. So hey, you. And DT too, she ain't far from it either, So she's just in Houston, so yeah. All y'all freaky man, where do you get all these freaky people from radio? I don't understand. Where are you?
I don't know.
Where are you freaky?
Deliver my package and hand my package to me. I gotta go now, Gordon. I had enough of this. We over here talking about politics.
Homer Blow too.
Homer Blow.
He got a wide ass. I'm talking about everybody. I'm doing about Cat Williams. Full disclosure.
Bust open. Get your stuff.
Oh boy. Anybody else?
Man.
Any other asses you want to talk about?
Did I say DT?
DT ain't really got no
Ken
ass.
Harris?
DT ain't got no
Yeah,
ass.
well.
He ain't got none. Got a little ass. Got a little booty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna throw a shave on your porch.
They ain't gonna do nothing.
Shave it.
Bring me my back.
Shave them dry.
Okay.
Shave them dry.
All right, that's enough. Thank you, Gordon. All right, man. Everybody think he over here cracking up.
This is a sick Negro.
What's wrong with everybody today?
He's looking at all y'all asses.
I didn't know the doctor can be ass out. I can see that. You know what I feel like today? I'm going to be a contrarian. I'm going to let this ass hang out. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, love it. Zach, you're producing Dr. Ken's show. Was Gordon? It was you just making it up. Dr. Ken don't be in the backyard with his ass out.
You never know.
Dr. Ken is the kind of guy that leaves his boxers on when he takes a shower. I don't think it's proper to be exposed like that.
I'm on Thursday. What is we doing?
I don't know. It's only Thursday.
Friday yet.
I missed the day this week too. I wasn't here on Tuesday.
So technically, it's a Wednesday for you.
I thought it would shorten the week up, but it didn't. Oh no! Look who's calling. Hello.
Hello.
Who's this? You saw who was on the caller ID. Did you do something, Zach? What did you do? I got to take a break. I don't want to talk to Dr. Ken anyway. Dr. Ken probably sitting somewhere butt naked you know what? Just decided I'd call. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are much closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Fall in Milwaukee, where the air is crisp, the drinks are cold, and the good times are just heating up. Stroll Milwaukee's lakefront and explore its parks as they burst into a kaleidoscope of golds, ambers, and reds. Raise a glass at a beer garden that feels like a neighborhood block party, Milwaukee style. And just as the temps fall, Brewers baseball is turning up the heat. October dreams are made right here. This season, every color, every cheer, every sip, it all comes together in Milwaukee. Craft your perfect getaway at visitmilwaukee.org.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Here is Sherwin Hughes with his truth.
You ever notice how the phrase 9 to 5 sounds just so old school? That's because in 2025, the 9 to 5 is as outdated as a rotary phone. Let's be real. The world has changed, and the way we work has changed with it. The gig economy is booming. Folks are making money on their own terms, driving Ubers, delivering DoorDash, freelancing, and side hustling their way to the bag. And then there's the work-from-home revolution. People are clocking in from their kitchen tables, their favorite coffee shops, or even the beach. Laptops open, pajamas on, productivity up. The virtual office is now the new corner office, and the only commute is from the bed to the desk. Let's not forget about the digital nomads, those bold souls who turn the world into their workplace. They're sending emails from Bali, closing deals in Barcelona, and living life on their own schedule. No time clock, no cubicle, just Wi-Fi and a dream. And 21st century entrepreneurship, well, it's a whole new game. You can launch a business from your phone, build a brand on Instagram, and make more in a week than some folks do in a month without even punching a clock. So who's still working that old 9 to 5 job? People who are resistant to change or maybe just can't adapt. The future belongs to the flexible, the creative, the hustlers who know how to make technology work for them. The 9 to 5, well, that's a museum piece. The real action is happening outside the box, where freedom and opportunity are just a click away.
This has been Truth Takes on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Calling all black-owned business owners and entrepreneurs. Are you looking to share your story and grow your reach? We've teamed up with Associated Bank for our black-owned business give back. Each quarter, 4 lucky business owners will win an opportunity to spotlight their brand and their journey on 101.7 The Truth. To sign up, visit blackbusinessgiveback.com. Let's rebuild our community through exposure on The Truth. For official contest rules, head to blackbusinessgiveback.com. Associated Bank member FDIC.
It hums and it sways. Every step she takes, it rewrites the day. She says love ain't just a feeling, it's the blood in her veins.
What do you think about this one, Rick? You like this? This is okay?
Is this the Linda one?
Yeah, revise it a little bit.
No, go back to the sexy one. Get that baby oil ready. Candles, wine.
I'm going to make a video of this one. I like this.
Mm-mm.
All right, you know what? What about this one here?
Sexy one back.
That one was too sexy.
Yeah, that's what I want. Sex.
Nah, I'm not crazy about this one.
All these songs that you're playing sound like something that's from a West Coast artist. It's giving L.A. DJ Mustard vibes. Hold on now. Talk to me nice.
She lights a candle just to set the
Yeah, there we go.
Sounds like Brian McKnight a little bit.
Bringing sex back.
soft whispers dancing through the quiet room. Her heart's a melody, a tender
I feel like Dirty Wani.
Please don't. I created this song during a commercial break. Imagine if I sat down for like 6 hours, I could put together 4 albums. Like Blue Mist, which is doing very well, by the way. I'm expecting some kind of music award nomination for Blue Mist because y'all are making it go damn near platinum. But you can create music that would take you how long in a studio? How many engineers would you have to hire? How many people would you have to have master it and remix and edit? And
those are for the major leagues. Nowadays, all you need is a computer, a good mic, and you're all good to go.
Or just an AI program. I pay $10 a month for this, and I can make 500 songs. I could make just like the ones that you're hearing right now.
Sounds really sexy.
You know what I'm gonna start doing? Because women like songs and musics. If I meet a woman, I'm just going like, baby, I went to the studio and I hired these artists to make this song. Oh my God, Sherwin, you did. Yeah, baby.
Not you lying to get the draws, dog.
First of all, I'm gonna get them regardless.
You ain't got a lot of kick it.
Yeah, you do.
No, you don't.
A little bit. A little tiny bit you do. But no, it would just be a romantic gesture. You know what I mean? Because women like the romance and the passion. I said yesterday that a woman is not going to be faithful to a good man, a solid man. She's not going to be faithful to her kids, to her family. She's going to be faithful to her passion. If her passions are ignited, that is where that woman will go. She'll leave a boring man, a man that doesn't ignite her passion, doesn't excite her anymore, doesn't give her a sense of adventure. She will leave everything commonsensical to go and find that passion. Damn it, I'm going to be that passion. With my ass out. Apparently, now the UPS man is going to throw my packages at my house because he's scared he's going to see my ass. I don't come out of my house naked. I hope I didn't communicate that. Who is this calling now? Yeah, I just answer it. Who is this?
This Kiki.
Oh, Lord. Hi, Kiki. What's on your mind, Kiki?
You know what, Sherwin? Stop embarrassing the family. Stop embarrassing the family and tell your sidekick to stop using that baby oil term. Thank you.
What is happening?
You answered that call. I don't know.
Kiki.
That's your family member?
I don't know no damn body named no Kiki.
That's stop embarrassing the fam. That's your family?
Ain't trust me, ain't nobody in my family named Kiki now.
Wait, what's wrong with Kiki?
I don't know no damn Kiki.
You answer the phone like, who is this?
What is she talking about? Baby oil. Ain't nobody talking about no baby oil. I don't like baby oil. So tomorrow, what do we even... Who cares what I even talk about? Forget. I even have pre-show meetings now. This was not my pre-show meeting, I assure you. You know, Andrew came in the morning. Hey, Sherwin, what are you going to talk about today? You need any sound? No. Well, what are you going to discuss? I was like, I don't know. Trump stuff? All right. And then we on Baby Oil and Asses being out, and I'm over here creating AI songs.
What a way to be productive. Looking at Death Row Records.
It almost doesn't even matter what I say because it's somebody that's going to call and just talk about some ass. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm shortchanging people that listen to this program to get real political dialogue and discourse. But let me also say this. You can't talk about the politics stuff all the time. You can. It gets boring. It's very frustrating. There's not a whole heck of a lot of stuff we can do. Even Linda brought up when she called, well, what do we do about them redrawing these district lines and creating more Republican districts? There's nothing we can do about that, especially if it's in another state. Who is this now? Hello? Uh-oh.
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, I just had a quick comment. This is town. While you talking about the white lady or whatever like that, and with the kid with cancer.
Oh yeah,
getting all the get the publicity or whatever like that.
Okay,
I agree with what you're saying though, but I think you need to probably be easy on her, and it's the reason why, because like if the end goal is like okay, helping out with the food stamps or the EBT or whatever like that, I think it's a good thing because if the white people that get some sympathy from her or whatever, that's all to the good because how we looking now with this stuff, we need all the help we can get. You know, like I understand it. You know what I'm saying? She's being, she's on a pedestal because she's a white lady or whatever like that, and this, and people in the media. They like white people more than black people. I get all that. But at this point, when they taking people health care and taking people safety net for the food stamps or whatnot, hey, you know what I'm saying? Chill out. Let old girl tell her story and get some sympathy or whatever like that. Whatever works.
No, the town, it wasn't to bash her or to shame her. It's just the point I was trying to make is you would never see a featured story that appeared online and on a news broadcast about a black woman who was receiving food stamps, who was unable to work because she's taking care of a sick child. Anytime there's a black woman in a conversation about welfare, it's usually criminal or it's fraud or it's based on stereotypes. So that was the contrast I was trying to bring. That woman completely deserves, and I am okay with my tax dollars helping to take care of her and feed her and her son while her son is going through leukemia. But what I was trying to say is that there are black women that might be going through the exact same thing that are equally and aptly as qualified to receive those same subsidies, but they would never tell a positive, sympathetic story about a black woman receiving welfare.
So I totally agree with you on that one. I want
everybody that qualifies for it to be able to receive it. And I have no issue with that because you never know. When anybody falls on hard times, we shouldn't just turn our back on people. As much as we don't want to admit it, we live in a nation and we live in a community. And whether we want to or not, we all got to take care of each other. So whether you be white, black, Latino, whatever the case may be, if you qualify for a little bit of help, I don't mind my tax money going to help you.
If they putting the story out there to try to
garner some support about, you know what I'm saying, about this situation or whatever like that, though, and they're using her whiteness for that, what I would say is not saying against you, because, well, like I said, what you said was correct, but we can use that and we can garner that support to help these people, help everybody with their, Medicaid or whatever like that, and the food stamps or whatnot like that, because it's totally bogus what he's doing. I say go for it. We need some of that white support too. You know what I'm saying? Because it is bigger than all of us.
All right, sir. Thank you for your call. All right, then. Let's take a break, shall we? Oh, good Lord. They piling on thick.
It gets
today.
better and better.
We'll take that call on the other side. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris sit down with Bucks forward Bobby Portis. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Talk to these people in terms of how do I register for this program despite my reservations and my previous experiences of rejection?
Yes, I tell anybody and everybody that you can buy a house. It may take somebody longer than the other person depending on what your circumstances is with your credit and income and affordability, but you can purchase a house. The first step would be is to register for our program. You can come to our office, 7830 West Burleigh Street, or you can give us a call at 414-461-6330, or just go onto our website, hri-wi.org. Register for the First Time Home Buyer Education Workshop. That's going to be your first step to home ownership. During that class, you're going to learn everything that you need to know from A to Z, how to get approved for a house, how to look for a house and put an accepted offer, and how to close on a home.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
Sharon needed legal help. She needed Gruber Law Offices.
When I think about Gruber Law Office, I think about how they took care of me, how they make sure that you get what you're supposed to get. Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all. I will always trust one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
They are the best. I'm very happy.
We believe that self-care isn't selfish. I'm Maddie from Sweet Talks, a women-owned and operated medical spa fostering self-love and confidence. We believe that beauty is about feeling empowered from within, and it's truly a passion for our team at Sweet Talks. Your goals are our goals. Our services go beyond injectables, including facials, lasers, medical weight loss, hormone therapy, and more. There's even a cafe, complimentary to all patients. Get started today at Sweet Talks in Menominee Falls. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Sherwin walks in, the room goes wild, every lady's heart beating like a child. That smile's electric, he's got the spark, lighting up the night, even in the dark. Oh, they whisper his name like a sweet, sweet flame. Sherwin's got that swagger.
Nah, it just sounds too gay, doesn't it? It just sounds too.
I didn't want to say nothing, but
Hey, guess what, guys? The Truth is a proud home of Marquette University High School football. Friday night, the Marquette Hilltoppers start their road back to the state championship with a first-round matchup against the Sussex-Hamilton Chargers. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. Friday Night Football on The Truth. It's presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. This is terrible.
He spins his words like a silver thread. Every line's a promise. Every look's a thread.
No, I don't like it. That's too gay. Hold on, man. What you and for? If you think that song is too gay, then it really is too gay.
It's too gay. That's Brokeback Mountain gay. Gross.
Oh, hey, wait a minute now. Slow down. That's too gay.
Too gay, baby. Too gay. That sounds like those little boys that used to sing and play the drums. Menudo, pedophile. Menudo.
Whoa, slow down there, buddy. Jeez.
I'm sorry. I'm in that kind of mood. How are you, sir?
I'm great. How are you?
Pretty good. I missed you on Tuesday. It was weird because my phone has been acting strange, kind of reprogramming itself. You know, we do that every 6 months. And then there's a couple stories I don't know if you've covered. What is this comet thing that's happening out in outer space? Have you been looking at any of that controversy?
Do I have the kind of show that covers outer space comets? No, I ain't covering no damn comets. There's too much stuff going on Earth.
Well,
is the comet coming to hit us?
Well, it might.
Oh.
Yeah. And at the same time, in Congress, they're having hearings about UFOs. At the very same time, we're getting sort of invaded. Not really invaded. They're just already here. They're just waiting to – they've been saying hello lately, and people don't know what to do, you know?
I don't believe in any of that stuff, Corey. I really don't believe that.
You don't?
I don't believe that alien life forms that are sophisticated enough to make it to Earth would just, like, be among us. I don't believe that. I think that we're such a low level of unevolved life form that they wouldn't have anything. Because all we would do is if aliens actually came, if they were friendly, we would kill them and try to dissect them and analyze them and shoot them. And,
exactly.
So they know not to mess with us.
That's why they don't come too close. I don't think so. They're just like, ugh, those humans stink. But the other story was, do you follow Candace, the little black girl?
Absolutely.
And
no.
No, you don't. Well, no, you don't follow the assassinations and all that? You don't tell that?
What's to follow?
You know,
Charlie Kirk thing, that's controversial. We talked about it when it was time to talk about it. Now let that man rest. I ain't got nothing to say about that man.
Yeah, but the close relationship between his parents and then the other shooter that tried to kill Trump, you know.
I'm not trying to make any unnecessary connections. I'm not going to fall into the conspiracy. He got killed because, America. Kids get killed, people get killed, adults get killed all the time.
People die every day, B.
Yeah. It's because of that very reason, I wonder why we don't have better security at our schools.
We do. We'll have a school resource officer with one gun. Sure.
I think you really, like we have a principal, vice principal. You need a team for each school, I think.
Well, the Republicans wanted to make it legal and if not mandatory for teachers to be able to have guns, so there's some security.
Oh, no, I'm not doing that. I'm a former teacher. I'm not shooting a kid. I'm not living with that. No.
No, I'm just saying if a school shooter gets in the school, it's not feasible to have a bunch of police officers in the school all the time. Just let the teachers have a gun.
I'm too absent-minded, okay? I was an art teacher. I couldn't find my big scissors one day, and I almost had a fit. Imagine if I couldn't find my gun and my bullets.
Well, good thing you're not a teacher anymore.
Thank you. That's what I said. They can't pay me enough money to do this.
You were an art teacher?
But they are I was. I really enjoyed it. I went to a couple private schools, too. That was really fun. I had some good moments and some bad moments, but it's like being a cop. The buck really does stop with our teachers who aren't there for the money. And if they're going to offer the retirees, they got to offer a hell of a lot more than $1,000.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They want to have retired teachers come back.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they need to get a referee. They need somebody to do the discipline. You cannot divide yourself into two people while you're trying to teach. It's impossible.
No, you're right.
That's my
Did you have a discipline problem with the kids when you were teaching art?
I didn't. Yes, I did not know how to do that.
Oh.
I knew how to do everything else, and teachers who go to school learn how to teach, but they don't teach them how to discipline a room, how to discipline students, how to hurt them and scare them enough where you don't have to physically do anything. You know, the old-fashioned way of threats and an eyebrow used to, you know, the evil look of death. And here's your mama's phone number. I'm getting ready to call. That was enough. Not anymore.
Corey, you couldn't intimidate anybody. You're just not an intimidating guy.
I know.
You're just a small little gay fella.
Not at all. I'm just an art teacher.
Yeah.
I was the first one to go. When the going got tough, I said, I'm poof out of here.
When did you stop teaching?
Let me say, about 7 years ago.
Okay.
But I'll tell you one thing. Who stood up for me was our science teacher, a lady science teacher who was getting her students involved in robotics. She was ahead of the curve. And she saw my struggle, and I was always across the hall to help me. I really appreciated her. But it's a team effort. You know, you have to have a strong principal who don't put up with no stuff, because kids will test you. I think these kids who are pretending to be racist are just probably picking that because it's the worst thing to make their parents throw up. You know how radical kids are. But it's nothing to play around with. And I think we're a different kind of black folks now. We're not putting up with that S anymore. You have a nice day here.
All right. You too, then.
Take care of your health. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye now. Okay. All right, then. Miles says, well, they are the reason we are where we are to begin with, so there's nothing they can do to change that besides redeeming themselves next year by voting. Kimberly says, there's no soul in the AI music. Thank you, Al. Al says he doesn't want to get me banned. I don't think you're doing it on purpose, Al, but Al, I think when you call in and you say the things that you say, they make perfect and total sense to you. To you, you're illustrating your point in a very colorful fashion because that's a part of your personality. But what sometimes people don't think about is when they call in and they say what they say and they express themselves, people are not cognizant of how other people are taking that information, right? There are ways in which we know how to communicate effectively to our friends, our family, and our circle. Sometimes that method of communication to our friends, our family, and our circle is not the proper communication for a broadcast audience. So there's that. And I think I pride myself on this. When people call into my show, it feels like they're just talking to me. And that's great because I want people to feel comfortable talking to me. But you're not. You're talking to many, many, many thousands of people that might also be listening. And so when you call in, just be mindful that you're talking to not just me, you're talking to a whole bunch of other people as well. Okay. What have we learned today? Nothing. We didn't learn anything. Linda took the garbage out with her butt cheeks hanging out. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next time.
Are you ready to level up your mindset, your money, and your future? Join Coach Erica Odom, real estate investor,